Yes.
And hello and welcome to Unity Christian High School here in Orange City for this non-conference matchup between the visiting Spencer Tigers of the Lakes Conference and the host Unity Christian Knights, of course, of the War Eagle Conference. I am Jordan DeSmit, and I'll be giving you a call here for this one on Fuller Digital Solutions. I'll start by talking a little bit about both teams. First for Spencer, they're led by head coach Matt Stevenson. And they come into this one 15-3 overall and 6-2 in the Lakes Conference, and they're ranked 12th in Class 4A in the latest poll. And the Tigers have dominated most of their schedule. Their 3 losses were a 5-point loss to Class 1A second-ranked Newell Fonda and 2 blowout losses to Class 3A first-ranked Esterville Lincoln Central. And that ELC team looks primed to win another state title this season. But the Tigers are led by senior Jada Piercy. Piercy was a first-team All-Lakes Conference selection last year and is a Northwestern College basketball commit, so she will be very familiar with Orange City once she arrives here in the fall. But she is also first in Class 4A in three-pointers made with 67, so we might see an interesting battle between her and Jaylee Woudstra tonight. And a couple more players to look out for are seniors Maureen McDermott and Jara Merchant. McDermott was an honorable mention selection last year and is top 5 in the Lakes in categories such as assists, rebounds, and blocks. And Merchant is also a great track athlete and leads their conference in three-point percentage at 43.8%. And so this is a dangerous shooting team that the Knights will probably have to match blow for blow, and it might be a back and forth and honestly a really even game tonight as well. I'll talk a little bit about Unity Christian. They're, of course, led by head coach Jay Scheidemann. They come into this game 14-5 overall and 8-0 in the War Eagle. They're also ranked 10th in Class 3A in the latest poll. And in their latest game on Friday, they took care of business against Harris Lake Park, 71-25. But the Knights have struggled this year against quality opponents. Most recently, they lost by 25 to Sioux Center on January 21st and lost by 22 to Bishop Heelan on January 30th. But tonight is the Knights' chance to flip the script and really prove to everyone in the state that they are good enough to make another run at a state title. And I honestly think that this team, playing at its best, can play with just about anyone. And they were probably playing at their best against Harris Lake Park on Friday. Granted, the Harris Lake Park team was not at the same level as other teams, but the Knights got key contributions from a lot of different people. For example, Cassidy Deckers had 22, which is about 11.5 points above her season average, and Jaylee Woudstra knocked down 5 threes to get to 15 points, and both of those two actually outscored Gracie Skonoven. So the potential to have a great team win is there, and the Knights need to prove that they can do that tonight if they want to make a run in the playoffs. So we got about a minute and 30 seconds before we get into the national anthem and starting lineups. I'll take a break until then and have the camera rolling for starting lineups in the national anthem, and I'll be back to you right around tip-off. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
All the best sports shows, all the best games on 101.5 FM and 1570 AM for your college sports, University of South Dakota. For NHL coverage, Minnesota Wild. For NBA coverage, Minnesota Timberwolves. For MLB coverage, Chicago Cubs. And the best games in both college and the pros with the ESPN Radio featured games. Never miss out on the action.
As a bank that cares about supporting small businesses, American State Bank assisted hundreds of young entrepreneurs launch their first business. Starting a business can be complicated, even when it's just a lemonade stand. It's never too early to begin thinking towards your next project, and we'll be here to help make it go as smoothly as possible. Supporting entrepreneurs, no matter their age, it's what we do.
You can't replace the peace of mind that comes with knowing your animal is in good hands. Central Veterinary Clinic has been serving Sioux Center and the surrounding area for over 60 years. With a staff of 11 veterinarians, you can be sure you're getting the right care when you need it. Whether it's your companion animal or a production animal operation, Central Veterinary is committed to staying up to date on the most current medical advances and knowledge to provide your animal with the best care. See what the professionals at Central Veterinary have to offer you at centralveterinaryclinic.com.
Appreciate your support and encouragement. Tonight, we have to honor conduct himself with good sportsmanship and feel respect. A true sportsman is a person who can take a loss of defeat without complaining, or a victory without glory, and
is someone who treats his or her opponents and officials with fairness and respect.
We, the players and coaches at Union Christian High School, as well as the cheerleaders, student section, parents, and fans,
are expected to display values of good sportsmanship.
We all need to show courtesy, acceptance, and understanding towards each other.
remembering that this athletic contest is a game meant for the development of high school students.
Together, we can be part of a message.
That high school athletics promotes and develops lifetime values that are fueled by good sportsmanship. Together, we all win. Let's go Knights!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Union Christian High School for tonight's girls basketball contest featuring the Spencer Tigers and the Unity Christian Knights. Here are your starting lineups for both teams. First for the Tigers, the 5'3" senior number 1, Jada Piercy. And for the Knights, the 5'8" senior number 2, Cassidy Decker. For the Tigers, the 5'6" senior number 12, Sarah Merchant. And for the Knights, the 5'8" senior number 4, Caitlin Zimmerbergen. For the Tigers, the 6' senior number 21, Jana Grettinger. And for the Knights, the 5'11" senior number 11, Gracie Stonehoven. For the Tigers, the 5'7" senior number 25, Maureen McDermott. And for the Knights, the 6' sophomore number 10, Jaden Hoffmeyer. And for the Tigers, the 5'7" senior number 32, Avery Bruning. For the Knights, the 5'10" sophomore number 44, Courtney Hoffmeyer. Tigers are coached by Matt Stevenson, assisted by Rick Nicolo and Samantha Larson. Knights are coached by James Feidemann, assisted by John Howard and Sherry Luzman. Your officials for tonight's contest are Furman Albertson, Lloyd Jeunesse, and Doug Zanley. And we ask that you all please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem by the Unity Christian Pep Band under the direction of Mrs. Carla Randy.
We welcome you back to Unity Christian High School for this non-conference matchup between Spencer and Unity Christian. I have the starting lineups. I will give those out to you quickly before tip-off. First for Spencer, we'll see a senior number 1, Jada Piercy, a senior number 12, Jared Merchant, a senior number 21, Jana Grettinger, a senior number 25, Maureen McDermott, and a senior number 32, Avery Bruning. And for the Knights, we'll see a senior number 2, Cassidy Deckers, a senior number 4, Caitlin Zevenbergen, a sophomore number 10, Jaden Hoffmeyer, a senior number 11, Gracie Schoenhoven, and a sophomore number 44, Courtney Hoffmeyer. It'll be Hoffmeyer and McDermott set for the tip-off as we are about underway, and we are underway, and Unity wins the tip-off. Here comes Gracie Schoenhoven driving in the lane, and they're going to call a jump ball right off the bat. Possession arrow over to Spencer, and they will take over. Just getting underway in this one, still a scoreless tie, as the Tigers bring it back the other way with Jada Piercy. I mentioned the pregame, a Northwestern College basketball commit. And here's a good pass in the paint, blocked from behind by Schoenhoven, taken by Deckers, coming back the other way. Here comes Cassie Deckers, loses control, taken by Hoffmeyer. Here's Deckers with it now, dribbling around the perimeter. Hands it back to Jaden Hoffmeyer. Her layup is blocked, and it goes out of bounds, out on Spencer. So a few good defensive plays to start this game. And it'll be Caitlin Zevenbergen to inbound. Zevenbergen into Skonoven. She'll stop for a jumper. That's no good. And a rebound. Spencer coming back the other way with Jada Piercy. She passes it up in the lane, and that's a layup. That's no good. But there is a foul, a layup from Jara Merchant. She will go to the line for 2. First foul of the game. For Unity Christian. And first free throw on the way and no good from Merchant. Merchant on the year, a 75% free throw shooter, 33 of 44 coming in. Second free throw on the way and good. It looks like on that foul was Caitlin Zevenbergen. That's her first. Here's Skonoven. 1-0 lead for Spencer. Skonoven over to Hoffmeyer. Hoffmeyer passes it back to Zevenbergen in the paint to Skonoven. Gets it into Courtney Hoffmeyer, who lays it up and in. First points of the game for Unity, courtesy of Courtney Hoffmeyer. Here comes the Tigers back the other way. This is Grettinger. Gets it to Piercy, left wing. Back over to Merchant. Merchant drives in the lane. Her layup up and good. Good drive to the paint and a good drive to the rim by Jara Merchant. She's got all 3 Spencer points. Here is Skonoven. Skonoven over to Deckers. Deckers hands it off to Zevenbergen. She'll take a 3, left wing, no good, off the mark. And rebound Spencer coming back the other way. Here's McDermott, gets it over to Piercy, her 3, no good. And rebound, Cassidy Deckers coming back the other way. Still early in this one, Spencer leads 3-2. Here's Deckers, floater, baseline, good. Cassidy Deckers on the board. It is 4-3 Unity Christian. Here's Grettinger with it, gets it off to, this is Avery Bruning in the paint. Back out to Piercy. Piercy drive, stops, kicks it back out. This is McDermott with it, gets it in the paint once again. Drive, left-handed hook, no good from Jana Grettinger. Here come the Knights, 4-3 lead. Hands it off to Skonoven. Skonoven drives, spins in the paint to Hoffmeyer. Her layup no good, but she's fouled. Good find by Skonoven. And Hoffmeyer will go to the line for 2. Hoffmeyer with 2 points so far. And Hoffmeyer at the line so far this year, 10 of 25. First free throw up and no good. And it looks like on the foul they got Maureen McDermott. That's her first, team's first. Second free throw on the way and no good. Rebound Skonoven. Skonoven put back up and good. Gracie Skonoven on the board. It's a 6-3 Unity lead. Here comes Maureen McDermott down the lane, blocked from behind by Skonoven. They get it back, and that's blocked again by Skonoven. She'll bring it back in transition, and her layup up and good. Gracie Skonoven with back-to-back buckets. It's an 8-3 Unity lead, off to a great start against Class 4A number 12 ranked Spencer. Here's McDermott with the top of the key. McDermott works off a screen. Gets it in the paint to Piercy, whose layup is up and good. Tough shot from Jada Piercy, and the all-conference nominee from last year is on the board. Here's Deckers with it. Deckers stops, jumper up and a no good. Fight for the rebound, taken by Spencer. And here comes Piercy back the other way. Gets a cross court up to Grettinger. Grettinger back to McDermott. She'll dribble it near the top of the key. Slowing things down a little bit, gets it off to Piercy. Piercy pumps, drives, her layup up and good. Another good move to the rim by Piercy. And she leads for all the Class 4 in 3 points made, but she's made a couple good layups so far. Has a foul called on the floor as we have an 8-7 game now. Couple substitutions, Woudstra in for Jaden Hoffmeyer, and Mia Skeideman checks in for Zevenbergen. Looks like they got the foul on Jera Merchant, team second. As Skonova gets the inbound, spins, layup up and good. I think we're going to have a pretty fun battle between Skonova and Piercy in this one. That's kind of what it's gearing up to be. Piercy over to, this is Grettinger. And that's taken away by Deckers. Deckers coast to coast, stops, layup up and good. Good pump fake from Cassidy Deckers to get the layup to go. It's 12-7. Piercy gets it over to Merchant. Merchant's to Addison Hoban, who just checked in the game, over to Piercy. Piercy right wing. And that's taken away by Skonova. Here comes Skonova in transition, and she will lay it up and in. Gracie Skonova has 8 early. It's a 14-7 lead, and Spencer wants a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. Unity off to a great start. We'll see you after the break. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital.
Customers deserve great internet too. This is Doug from EverTech. You deserve EverTech's no limits internet and the personal service that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bringing customers like you reliable, unlimited internet. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. Knights off to a great start, up to a 14-7 lead after a couple of steals and easy layups in transition. But this Spencer team is not going to go down easy. Here's Jada Piercy. Piercy works off a screen, gets it off to Grettinger. Grettinger near left wing, looking for somewhere to go, gets it into Addison Hoban. Hoban back out to Grettinger, will take a 3, left wing, good, no good, take that back, rebound, Spencer, fight for it actually, and they're going to call a jump ball, possession arrow, Unity Christian. Couple new substitutions for Spencer. Looks like Maureen McDermott checks back in, as well as Avery Bruning. The Spencer team doesn't substitute a lot, they really only sub in like 2 more people than their starting lineup. But here's Skeideman. Skeideman over to Jaden Hoffmeyer. Back to Mia Skeideman, top of the key. She'll drive, kick it back out to Woudstra. Here's Jaden Hoffmeyer again. And she throws the ball away, taken by Avery Bruning. Here's Jada Piercy. Piercy drives, kicks it back out. This is Ivy Hamilton with it, and they're going to call a foul. So Spencer will inbound. Jaylee Woudstra just checked in, gets the foul. Comes Spencer Hamilton over to Piercy. Piercy over to Maureen McDermott. McDermott crossover dribble, almost taken by Skeideman. She gets it over to Piercy near top of the key. In the paint to McDermott, back out. This is Hoban with it. Here's Bruning left wing. McDermott in the corner, dribbles near the top of the key. Good defense here by the Knights, under 10 to go on the shot clock. McDermott needs somewhere to go. 3 left in the shot clock, gets it in the paint to Hoban. That is going to be a travel on Addison Hoban. Great defense by the Knights on that possession. Tigers didn't have a ton of places to go with that as they bring in a couple new substitutions. Grettinger checks in, as well as Jared Merchant back in the game. Woudstra and Courtney Hoffmeyer check out for the Knights. Here's Gracie Skonova. Skonova drives, gets it in the paint to Deckers, and her layup no good. Gets her own rebound, put back good. Take that back, no good, but she is fouled. I wanted it to be good. I was ready to get excited there. But Deckers goes to the line. She's a 64.6% free throw shooter coming in. 31 of 48 from the line. First free throw up and good. As Deckers has 5 now on the night. Deckers had 22 points back on Friday. And the second period, they're up and good. Make that 6 for Deckers. It's a 16-7 Unity Christian lead. Here's Jada Piercy. Piercy over to Bruning. Bruning cross court, almost taken by Deckers. There's a drive to the lane by Hamilton. That's no good. Rebound. Jaden Hoffmeyer coming back the other way. Here's Deckers with it. Deckers, right wing. Drives in the lane. Her layup up and good with the foul. Cassidy Deckers off to a great start, too. The team in general is playing great here in the first quarter. It's 18-7. And Deckers looking to finish the deal here. Free throw on the way and no good. Rebound out of bounds. It'll be Spencer basketball. So here comes Jada Piercy. The Knights protecting an 18-7 lead under a minute to go here in the first period. Here's Ivy Hamilton. Cross court over to Grettinger near the top of the key. Gets it back over to Hamilton. Hamilton working on to Zevenbergen. Kicks it back out to Grettinger. Grettinger looking for somewhere to go, and they're going to call a foul on Jaden Hoffmeyer. And that'll be Hoffmeyer's first. Team's third of the half. Inbound. And they're going to call a travel on Jerem Merchant. So the Tigers turn it over again. It's been a bit of a sloppy first quarter for them. As Wouchra checks in for Zevenbergen. Inbound into Schoenhoven. Shot clock and game clock about the same. Here's Wouchra, drive to the lane. Layup up and good. Jaylee Wouchra gets honestly a rare layup for her. She loves to shoot threes, but it's 22-7 Unity Christian. There's Grettinger, a good pass near the baseline to Jerem Merchant, who lays it up and in. Much needed bucket there for the Tigers. Here's Scheidemann. Scheidemann into Deckers. Deckers drives into Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven, her layup up and no good. Rebound, fought for, and it's going to go to the end of the first period with the Knights leading 20-9. We'll take a break and get you the second period. You're watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital.
Rural customers deserve great internet too. You deserve EverTech's No Limits Internet and the quality local services that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bring customers like you reliable and unlimited internet, up to 50 megabits across 22 counties. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. The Knights off to a fast start, leading Class 4A 12th ranked Spencer 22-9 as we're about to begin the second period. I said it earlier, but do not count the Spencer team out. They only have 3 losses, 2 of those 3, like I said, to an undefeated Esterville Lincoln Central team. The Knights, like I said, playing really well as a team. Deckers is 8, Schoenhoven is 8, Wouchra has 2, and Hoffmeyer has 2. But the Tigers will start with it to start the second period. This is Piercy with it again. She has 4 so far. Gets it in the paint to McDermott. Back out to Bruning. Bruning swings it over to Piercy. She'll take a deep 3, no good. And rebound, Spencer fought for, taken by Deckers. And here she comes back the other way. Deckers near right wing over to Schoenhoven. Schoenhoven stops, gets it over to Wouchra left wing. She'll pump, kick it into the paint to Hoffmeyer. Her layup up and no good. And rebound, Spencer coming back the other way. Cross court pass in the paint. That layup up and good from Jerem Merchant. And that pass almost taken away, taken back by Wouchra. Gets a cross court to Hoffmeyer, back to Jaden Hoffmeyer. She'll get it back to Courtney Hoffmeyer. Cross court over to Deckers. Deckers will take a three, too short, no good. And a fight to keep it out of bounds. But it looks like Hoffmeyer stepped on the line. It'll be Spencer basketball. So a bit of a sloppy start to the second period for the Knights. We'll see how they respond here. Jada Piercy gets it over to McDermott. McDermott stops, gets it in the paint, and that layup up and no good, and rebound. It will go out of bounds. It'll be Unity Christian basketball. So here comes Schoonhoven. Schoonhoven gets it into Wowster in the corner. Back out to Schoonhoven. Cross court to Wowster. She'll take a three. Right wing. No good. Rebound Schoonhoven. Her put back. No good. Too strong. Courtney Hoffmeyer gets the rebound. Here's Deckers back to Schoonhoven. Schoonhoven gets it in the paint to Hoffmeyer. Her layup up and good. Good job of rebounding and finding a way to get a bucket. And it's an 11-point lead for the Knights. Here's Piercy. Piercy back out to Bruning, right wing. In the paint to Grettinger. Almost traveled. Kicks it back out. Here's a three. That's too short. No good. That'll go out of bounds. That three, believe from, yes, it was from Maureen McDermott. 6:06 remaining here in the first half. There's Mia Skeideman. Skeideman near the top of the key. Crossover dribble. Hands it off to Zevenbergen off her foot and out of bounds. And the Tigers will take over. Here's Piercy over to McDermott. Near right wing. Crossover dribble. Drives in the lane. Her layup up and rattles in and out. No good. Gets her own rebound near the baseline. Kicks it back out. Here's a three. No good. And rebounds Schoonhoven. That three from Jara Merchant. Here's Schoonhoven. Schoonhoven coast to coast. Her layup up and good. Schoonhoven has 10. It's a 13-point lead for Unity Christian. And didn't quite see the call. Just looking down on my roster. But I believe a foul called on Spencer. And they're actually going to get Maureen McDermott. That is her third. And she'll check out of the game. That's Spencer's fifth. Here come the Knights. Mia Skeideman kicks it back out to Hoffmeyer. Here's Wowsher right wing over to Zevenbergen. Zevenbergen gets it to Jaden Hoffmeyer. She'll drive in the lane, kick it back out to Schoonhoven. Pump in the lane to Jaden Hoffmeyer, who lays it up and in. Everybody contributing here for the Knights. That's Hoffmeyer's first points of the game. It's a 15-point lead for Unity Christian. Here's Bruning. Near right wing. Drives in the paint. Her floater up and no good, but she is fouled. You're going to get Woudstra on that foul. That is her second. Team's fourth. First free throw up and good from Bruning. And actually Bruning at the line so far going into tonight, actually only 7 of 13. And that one's no good. Rebound Woudstra. 26-12 your score. Here's Schoonhoven. Schoonhoven back to Woudstra. Wowstra drives, kicks it back out to Zevenbergen. Zevenbergen over to Skeideman. Cross court to Jaden Hoffmeyer. Here's Wowstra with it again to Zevenbergen. Back to Skeideman. In the paint to Schoonhoven, whose layup is good. Gracie Schoonhoven is having a great night in the paint. And it's 28-12. Unity Christian leads. Here's Jara Merchant. Merchant over to Hoban. Gets it to Piercy. Piercy drives, almost taken away, taken back. Here's Bruning. Bruning in the paint to Hoban. Hoban tries to get it in, and there's some traffic there. Blocked from behind from Schoonhoven, taken by Bruning. Bruning back out to Piercy. 5 left to go on the shot clock. Here's Bruning, top of the key. She'll drive, little floater, and no good. Putback is good. Did they get it off in time? Believe the ruling that they did. So the layup up and good just before the shot clock went off. Good from Addison Hoban. Here's Woudstra. And that is going to be taken by Spencer. Fight for it on the floor. They're going to call a jump ball possession arrow toward Unity Christian as Cassie Deckers checks in for Woudstra. And it looks like Ivy Hamilton checks in for Avery Bruning. So 3:36 remaining in the first half. Here's Zevenbergen over to Deckers. Deckers in the paint to Skonoven. Back out to Zevenbergen. Her three is no good. They're going to wave it off. They didn't quite see the call, but Spencer will take over. Here's Jada Piercy. Piercy near right wing. Back out to Hoban. Hoban working on Skonoven. Back out to Piercy. Piercy has it almost knocked away. Gets it back. Piercy, that is going to be in the paint to, that was Hoban, whose layup is no good, and the Knights will take over. Deckers gets it into Mia Skeideman. Skeideman gets it up to Zevenbergen, almost taken away. A hard fall to the floor. They're going to call a jump ball possession arrow towards Spencer as Courtney Hoffmeyer checks in for Jaden Hoffmeyer. So still 28-14 game for Unity. So it looks like, I believe Kendra Lowe just checked in for Spencer for Addison Hoban. Here's Grettinger with it, kicks it over to Lowe. Kendra Lowe drives. They're going to call a foul on Gracie Skonoven. That'll be Skonoven's first. Team's fifth. Piercy to inbound, gets it in. This is Jared Merchant. She drives, and her layup is up and good. Good move to the rim by Jared Merchant. It's a 12-point game. Here's Skeideman. Skeideman to Deckers. Deckers kicks it back out to Skeideman. Skeideman over to Zevenberg in the paint to Skonoven, who lays it up and in. Skonoven has 14 here so far in the first half. And the Knights extend their lead back out to 14. Here's Piercy, crossover dribble in the paint. She is blocked, and it's out of bounds, out on Unity Christian. So Avery Bruning checks in for Jared Merchant, and there's a timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Since 1998, Ground Effects in Sioux Center has been Northwest Iowa's premier landscaping and garden center, providing a full variety of trees, shrubs, perennials, and annuals. Visit scgroundeffects.com and use their plant finder tool to help you find the perfect plant for your home. Ground Effects also has a full staff of experts and designers to turn your landscaping dreams into a reality. Come see what Ground Effects in Sioux Center has to offer.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. Unity Christian leads 32-16. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here, second period. And the Knights could not have played any better to start against a very quality opponent. And again, I mentioned in the pregame, maybe some doubters out there in the state, especially with how they played a couple games against really good teams. But right now, I think, at least so far, they need to finish the game. They're proving that they can play with just about anyone. But here we go, Spencer to inbound out of the timeout. Jada Piercy will inbound it. Looking for somewhere to go and gets it in finally to Ivy Hamilton. Hamilton driving near baseline, kicks it into Grettinger. Her layup is up and good with the left hand. Grettinger, I believe that's her first points of the game. And it's see if Unity has an answer here. Skonoven back out to Skeideman. She had an open three, passed it up. She'll drive in the lane instead. That's no good. Put back from Hoffmeyer is no good as well. Rebound Spencer. Under 2 to go here in the first half. Here's Jada Piercy near right wing. Piercy into Bruning, top of the key. Bruning over to Hamilton. No, taken away by Deckers. Knocked away by Skonoven. She brings it across the timeline. Hands it off to Skeideman. Skeideman works off the screen. Her floater no good. It's blocked. Taken by Skonoven. Skonoven put back no good. Too short. Gets her own rebound. Layup up and no good with the foul. So she will go to the line for 2. Skonoven at the line so far this year. 70 of 99 coming in. 70.7% clip. And her 100th free throw of the season is up and good. So Jaden Hoffmeyer checks in for Courtney Hoffmeyer. So with that, Skonoven has 15, and that is up and no good. And rebound Spencer. Here's Piercy. Piercy crossover dribble. And Skeideman goes to the floor. That is no good from Piercy. It's out of bounds. Out on Unity Christian. But Jada Piercy to inbound. She gets it in to Grettinger. Under a minute to go here first half. Grettinger in to Piercy. Piercy quiet so far, only 4 points. Here she is right wing. Looking for somewhere to go. Gets it over. Here it is in the paint to Grettinger. Grettinger left-handed floater up and good. Jana Grettinger, good move in the post. And it's a 31-20 lead for Unity. Here's Skonoven by the free throw line. She'll drive in the lane. Her layup up and good. Gracie Skonoven has 17 here in the first half. It's a 13-point lead for the Knights. There's Grettinger with it. Gets it off to Kendra Lowe. She hands it off to Piercy. Piercy drives in the lane. She's blocked, and it's taken by Deckers. Deckers 4 to go on the play clock. Deckers coast to coast. Her layup up and no good. Put back Skonoven. Was it in time? Are they going to count it? They're going to talk about it. They're going to wave it off. So it'll remain 33-20 going into halftime. And I believe, I'll go to break in a second, but I believe they're going to have a youth basketball scrimmage here. So I'll go to break, and I'll be back for that. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller.
Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration has always operated under strong values aimed at exceeding client needs. The relationship with their clients begins on the first day of contact and only ends once you are fully satisfied with the work. When you hire Notaboom Electric, you can count on them for the results you want and need. They offer a number of services for residential and commercial facilities to schools and churches. Discover the advantage of working with Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration in Orange City today. Wishing good luck to the Knights.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. Hope you were entertained by the youth basketball scrimmage there, but I'll give you a quick recap of the first half. Of course, Unity Christian led at 22-9 after the first period, and then now, of course, leads 33-20 at the end of the first half. And for Spencer, for their statistics, Jada Piercy only has 4 so far, and Jared Merchant leads the way with 9, and Jana Grettinger has 4, and Addison Hoban has 2. And for the Knights, Cassidy Deckers has 8, Jaden Hoffmeyer has 2, Gracie Schoenhoven had 17 first half points, Jaylee Woudstra had 2, and then Courtney Hoffmeyer had 4. And really, it's just been a great team effort. The Knights have played really scrappy defense. You could tell some of the sets that Spencer was trying to run, and they did have some people open at times, but Unity adjusted and really locked a couple of those down, and they've gotten multiple people contributing. Like I said, Deckers has 8, Hoffmeyer's gotten a bucket, Woudstra has gotten a bucket, and Courtney Hoffmeyer has had a couple in the paint as well. Schoenhoven's having a great night, driving the lane and just finishing layups as well. But otherwise, just great defensive play, shutting down Piercy to only 4, and then forcing Spencer to rely on their other weapons. So we'll see if the Knights can hold on and finish the deal on what would be a signature win for them on the season going into the playoffs. So with that, we got a little over a minute before we start the beginning of the second half. We'll take a break. Until then, you're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
When each new day begins, we're here. When you want new technology that's tested and proven, we're here. When you need a sounding board or just a good story, we're here. For an ally whose local roots run as deep as yours, or to make next year the best year yet, we'll be where we've been all along, with you from the word go.
Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. About 5 seconds before the clock's going to go off, and we're ready for the beginning of the second half. And we'll see what kind of answers the Tigers have for this Unity Christian attack. It looks like the game plan's really been trying to get Schoenhoven open in the paint, and it's worked great so far. And it looks like it will be Unity Christian to start the basketball. It's Zevin Bergen, Jaden Hoffmeyer, Courtney Hoffmeyer, Cassie Deckers, and Gracie Schoenhoven on the floor for the Knights. So they're starting 5 versus, I'm assuming, Spencer's starting 5. Here's Zevin Bergen. Over to Deckers. Deckers drives in the lane, loses control of it, fight for it on the floor, and they're going to call a jump ball possession arrow toward Spencer. So no look for the Knights on their first possession. We'll see if they can play good defense like they did really the entire first half. Here's Grettinger with it, right elbow, hands it off to Bernie, back to Piercy. Her 3, no good. I don't think she's connected on a 3 yet, but rebound Bruning. Bruning back out, pump fake, and a drive to the lane with the layup. That's too strong and no good from Merchant. Here come the Knights back the other way. Here's Deckers. Deckers hands it off to Schoenhoven after someone fell on the floor. Here's Schoenhoven driving in the paint, and that layup is up and no good, but a good move and a good job of getting into the paint. But here comes Merchant back the other way, no good, and a rebound Courtney Hoffmeyer. And she hands it off to Zevin Bergen. Zevin Bergen drives in the lane, her floater up and no good, but she's fouled. So Zevin Bergen to the line for 2. Spencer's first team foul of the half, but that is Jared Merchant's second of the game. First free throw up and good off the glass. Zevenbergen, surprisingly, especially for being a starter, only 0 for 2 at the line coming in. That's her first made free throw of the season, and that's her second made one right there. So Zevenbergen gets on the board. It's 35-20. Grettinger hands it off. This is McDermott with it. McDermott will take an open three, no good. And rebound taken by Spencer. Here's McDermott with it again. She'll drive in the lane. Her layup no good, but she's fouled. And Hoffmeyer, I believe, guilty of that one. So that's Courtney Hoffmeyer's first foul. And McDermott's free throw is up and good. McDermott, I mentioned earlier, an honorable mention on conference selection last year. 4th in the Lakes in assists, 3rd in rebounds, and 3rd in blocks. Second free throw up and good. It's 35-22. Unity Christian leads. Here's Deckers. Deckers stops. Cross court to Zevenbergen. Hands it off to Skonoven, left wing. Skonoven off of Decker's head, but taken by Courtney Hoffmeyer. Back out to Zevenbergen. Here's Skonoven with the top of the key. And they're going to call a foul inside on the Tigers. Looked like Deckers fell to the floor. So I believe they got Grettinger. That's her first. Team's second of the half. Here's Cassie Deckers. Pump, stops, jumper from the free throw line. Too long, no good. And Skonoven gets the rebound. Skonoven drives, floater, gets it in to Hoffmeyer. She's blocked. And it's out of bounds, out on Spencer. So Zevenbergen to inbound. Gets it into Skonoven in the corner. She'll pump. Get it in to Jaden Hoffmeyer. Her layup is good. Jaden Hoffmeyer seals the deal after a good find from Skonoven. It's a 15-point lead for the Knights. And here come the Tigers. This is McDermott. McDermott gets it in, baseline, that's blocked from Skonoven. And that was Jared Merchant who was blocked by Skonoven. I haven't been tracking Skonoven's blocks, but she has to have at least 3 or 4 by now. Spencer to inbound, gets it in, that's a foul, and the bucket's good by Maureen McDermott. McDermott will go to the line. That's Skonoven's second foul of the game. And McDermott's free throw is up and good. So that brings McDermott up to 5 points. It's a 12-point lead for the Knights. Here's Skonoven, hands it off to Deckers. Deckers over to Courtney Hoffmeyer, and that pass is blocked out of bounds. Unity will still have the basketball. Here's Zevenbergen. Zevenbergen in the corner to Deckers. She'll drive baseline. Gets it in to Skonoven, taken by Hoffmeyer. Back out to Zevenbergen. She'll take a 3. Rattles on and out, no good. Rebound Spencer, and there's a foul on the fight for the rebound. So Deckers on that foul. That's her first. Team's third of the half. So here comes Spencer again. Like I said, not backing down. Here's McDermott. McDermott tries to get in the paint. Taken by Skonoven. Skonoven brings it across the timeline. Hands it off to Zevenbergen. Cross court to Deckers. Deckers stops near left elbow, back out to Skonoven. She'll take, I think, a deep 2. Good. Yes, a deep 2 for Gracie Skonoven. 14-point lead for the Knights. Here's a 3 from Grettinger, no good. And rebound, Cassidy Deckers coming back the other way. And they're going to call a foul on Maureen McDermott. That'll be McDermott's 4th. So they're going to send her out. And they're going to send Addison Hoban back in. So Deckers to inbound. She tries to get into Wowster. She falls to the floor. And it's out of bounds on Unity Christian. Wowster back up. So here comes Spencer back the other way. 39-25, 4:25 remaining here in the third period. Tries for a pass in the paint, and that is going to be Unity Christian basketball. I believe a bad pass by Addison Hoban. Here's Mia Skeideman. Skeideman drives back out to Courtney Hoffmeyer. That's tipped and taken by Spencer. Avery Bruning hands it off to Jada Piercy. Piercy drives, and they're going to stop play and call a foul, I believe, inside. And they're going to get Mia Skeideman on that foul. That's her first. Team's 4th. Piercy inbounds it in to Ivy Hamilton. Hamilton pumps, kicks it back out. This is Grettinger with it. Hands it off to Hoban. Hoban in the paint to Piercy, taken by Mia Skeideman. Skeideman bringing it back the other way. Gets it off to Skonoven. Skonoven pumps, gets it in the paint to Hoffmeyer. Layup no good. Gets her own rebound. Put back no good. And rebound fought for. Jump ball called. Possession arrow. Unity Christian. So Mia Skeideman will inbound. 3:41 remaining, third period. Here's Skonoven, excuse me. Deckers in the paint to Skonoven. Her layup up and good. Good find by Cassidy Deckers. And Skonoven finishes it. And that was actually stuck in the net. Ref went up and got it out. With a round of applause from the student section. But a 16-point lead for the Knights. Here's Jada Piercy. Piercy over to Merchant. Merchant into Hoban near the top of the key. Gets it into Piercy. Piercy back to Hoban. Pump fake. Gets it into Piercy. Piercy drives back out to Hoban. Here's a Merchant driving baseline. Stopped by Skonoven. That is going to be fought for on the floor. Taken by Cassidy Deckers. Deckers bringing it back the other way. Deckers back to Woudstra. Woudstra cross court to Skeideman. Skeideman over to Hoffmeyer. Here's Skeideman again in the paint to Skonoven. Skonoven right wing gets it over to Woudstra. In the corner to Hoffmeyer. Hoffmeyer back to Skonoven. She'll drive in the lane. Her layup up and good. Skonoven has 23. It's an 18-point lead for the Knights. Piercy off to Hamilton. Hamilton gets into Grettinger. They're going to call a foul in the paint. So a foul on Cassidy Deckers, her second. As Zevenbergen checks in for Deckers. Hoffmeyer checks out. Courtney Hoffmeyer checks out. Jaden Hoffmeyer checks in. Here's the inbound taken by Kendra Lowe. Lowe crossover dribble, hands it back to Hamilton. Hamilton drives back out to Lowe. Lowe drives baseline, kicks it back out. Here's a Jara Merchant as she pumps, drives her layup up and good. Back to a 16-point lead. As Merchant has 11. Here's Skeideman, hands it off to Zevenbergen over to Skonoven near the top of the key. In the paint to Jaden Hoffmeyer, her layup up and good. Good find by Skonoven. And a better finish by Hoffmeyer. Jaden Hoffmeyer has 6, nearing a 20-point lead for the Knights. Here's Merchant, her layup is good. Another good find as Merchant climbs up to 13 points. Here's Scheidemann. Scheidemann in the paint to Jaden Hoffmeyer. Layup no good. Rebound Skonoven. Put back no good. Rebound Jaden Hoffmeyer. Hoffmeyer drives baseline reverse layup, and she is fouled on the way up. So Jaden Hoffmeyer to the line for 2. Hoffmeyer 16 of 30 from the line so far this season. Knocks that one down. As Jada Piercy checks in for the Tigers. Checks Hamilton out. And Bruning checks in as well. Second free throw up and good from Hoffmeyer. So Hoffmeyer to 8 points. Hamilton, some confusion for substitutions here for Spencer. But I think they got it figured out. Here is Jada Piercy. Piercy crossover dribble, drives back out to Hamilton. Her 3 from the corner, no good. Rebound Woudstra. Tigers just having a tough time having things fall. Here's Scheidemann over to Skonoven. Skonoven to Zevenbergen in the corner. Zevenbergen cross court to Jaden Hoffmeyer. She'll take a jumper, no good. Might have been deflected. Taken by Skonoven. Tries to tip it off of Spencer, but it's taken by the Tigers. Under a minute to go, third period. Here's Jada Piercy. Piercy step back 3, good. At every part of the rim, and Piercy finally has a 3. And she's got 7. It's a 15-point lead for the Knights. Here's Scheidemann, top of the key, gets it in. No, taken by Spencer. Here comes Piercy back the other way. Piercy stops left wing. Cross court to Bruning, right wing. Bruning in the paint to Piercy, drives her layup, no good, but she's fouled. So Piercy will go to the line for 2. Piercy had a double-double back on Saturday. 17 points, 10 assists against South Central Calhoun. First free throw up and good. Piercy, a 74.2 free throw shooter coming in. And the second free throw is good. So make that 9 points for Piercy. It's a 13-point lead for the Knights. Here's Scheidemann. Scheidemann drives in her baseline, block from behind, taken by Spencer. Momentum starting to shift a little bit. Piercy over to Lowe. Lowe drives. They're going to stop play and call a travel on Kendra Lowe. 16.5 seconds left to go, third period. Here's Scheidemann. Scheidemann right wing. Over to Zevenbergen to Woudstra in the corner. Her 3 too short, no good. And rebound Spencer, 2 to go, 1 to go. Low, last second heave, blocked from behind by Skonoven. And we will go to the end of the third period with the Knights leading 47-34. We'll take a break. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
I chose the NCC CNA course because I just really liked the instructors and the entire NCC community, how welcoming everybody is, and I was able to take it in high school and get it done before I started college.
The new facility here at NCC has been great. You've got every tool you can think of. You're never struggling to find something. Just the facility as a whole has been awesome. It makes the learning a lot more interesting and a lot more hands-on, and it's just been great.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. The Knights jumped off to a big lead in the first period and really just haven't looked back. Jumped out to a 20-9 lead at the end of the first period. It's been relatively even since then, but the Knights still maintaining a 13-point lead as we start the beginning of the fourth period. Couple notable people. Skonoven is up to 23 points. Jaden Hoffmeyer up to 8. Cassidy Deckers has 8. Woudstra has 2, Courtney Hoffmeyer has 4, and Caitlin Zevenbergen knocked down a couple of free throws. So Piercy with it, right wing. Piercy cross court to Bruning. Bruning will take a 3, left wing, good. Avery Bruning on the board. It's a 10-point lead for the Knights. Here's Deckers. Deckers near the top of the key. Now left wing, drives baseline, gets it in, tries to get in the paint, taken, fought for, and it will be a jump ball possession arrow toward Unity Christian. Here's Cassidy Deckers. Deckers pumps, drives, kicks it in to Skonovan. Skonovan spins. Her left-handed layup up and good with the foul. Skonovan has 25. And she will go to the line for one. Skonovan came in first in Class 3A in field goals made with 181. And also first in field goal percentage at 66.5. Her layup no good. Rebound Spencer. But Skonovan might keep that position at number one in Class 3A after this game. Here's Piercy, crossover dribble, drive to the lane. Her layup up and good. Jada Piercy starting to heat up a little bit. She's got 11. Still a 10-point lead for the Knights. 7 minutes left to go. Here's Skonovan, top of the key. Skonovan, crossover dribble. Back out to Zevenbergen. Back to Skonovan, left wing. Here's Courtney Hoffmeyer, top of the key, over to Deckers. Deckers drives back out to Zevenbergen. She'll take a three. Good! Caitlin Zevenbergen. Her first three of the night. It's a 13-point lead for the Knights. Here's Grettinger, hands it off to Bruning. Bruning pumps, drives. Her floater up and no good, but she is fouled by Skonovan. Knights wanted to charge, won't get it. But Skonovan has 3 fouls now. And Bruning at the line for 2. She's got 3 points on the night after that 3 she just had, as she misses her first free throw. Bruning had 13 points in their win on Saturday. Second free throw on the way and good. So a 12-point lead for the Knights. Here's Jaden Hoffmeyer. Hoffmeyer throws it away out of bounds. And Coach Scheidemann getting up just and calm down a little bit. Just an errant pass. So the Knights turn it over. 6:25 remaining. Here's Piercy with it. Piercy in to Merchant. Merchant near the corner now. Gets it over to Piercy. Her open three. Rattles in and out. No good. Piercy, I believe, yet to connect on a three. Here's Deckers. Deckers near right wing. Deckers drives near baseline. Her floater. Good. Deckers has 10 and a clutch shot there. It's a 14-point lead. Piercy crossover dribble, drives, kicks it back out to Merchant. Her three from the corner. Good. Jared Merchant continues her good night. She's got 16. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Unity Christian is proud to have these businesses as partners, helping to ensure the success of our students now and into the future.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. The Knights lead by 11, 5:48 remaining, fourth period. And Knights really just trying to hang on. Every time you think Spencer might have a little bit of momentum, the Knights have kind of closed the door on them. It's been pretty even since the end of the first period. We'll see if the Knights can hang on in what's been a great heavyweight bout here in Iowa High School girls basketball. The Knights with the basketball. Here's Cassidy Deckers. Deckers crosses the timeline. Stops looking for somewhere to go. Gets it into Zevenbergen. Zevenbergen cross court to Hoffmeyer near baseline. Cross court to Deckers. Deckers drives baseline, falls to the floor, out of bounds, and it will be Spencer basketball. Here's Jada Piercy. quietly has 11 so far. Gets it over to Merchant. Actually, that's McDermott. Take that back. McDermott drives, floater, no good. And a rebound, Hoffmeyer coming back the other way. Here's Skonoven. Skonoven left wing over to Zevenbergen. In the paint to Hoffmeyer. Her layup up and good. Jaden Hoffmeyer has 10. That's 3 nights in double digits now. Here's Jada Piercy. Looking to come from behind from a 13-point deficit. Piercy drives, taken by Hoffmeyer. Here's Cassidy Deckers bringing it back across the timeline. Deckers drives to her baseline. Her layup no good, but she's fouled. So Deckers to the line for 2, and that is actually McDermott's 5th foul. So she is fouled out of the game. And first free throw on the way in, good. As Ivy Hamilton will check in for her. So McDermott's night is done. Spencer has a team at 6 fouls. Unity has 7. And second free throw, no good. And rebound Spencer. Knights up by 14. Here's Piercy. Piercy crossover dribble. Pull up 3. No good. Been cold from 3 all night. Here's Deckers. Deckers up to Woudstra. Woudstra drives baseline, pull-up jumper, block, gets her own rebound, back out, and that's going to be taken by Spencer. Piercy crossover dribble, hands it off to Bruning, right wing. Bruning tries to get in the paint, gets it in there, back to Bruning, top of the key, pump fake, drives, and that's tipped, taken by Hamilton. Hamilton back out. Here's a 3 from Merchant, no good. 4 minutes to go here. Here comes Skonoven. Skonoven hands it off to Deckers. Deckers right wing, almost stolen away. Here's Woudstra, open look for 3. No good, too long. And she fights for a rebound out of bounds, out on Unity Christian. Zevenbergen checks in for Deckers. So Spencer will have the basketball. Here comes Jada Piercy up the court. Piercy drives back out to Bruning right wing. Bruning looking for somewhere to go. Stops. Double teamed. Kicks it back out. This is Hamilton. Hamilton back to Piercy. She dribbles, kicks it back out to Merchant. Merchant drives. Step back guarded well by Skonoven. Here's Grettinger, floater, no good. Rebound, Skonoven. Approaching 3 to go. Skonoven. Crossover dribble, drives back out to Scheidemann, top of the key. Scheidemann back out, almost loses it, but here's Courtney Hoffmeyer. Back to Scheidemann. Scheidemann drives in the paint, kicks it back out. Here's Skonoven, right wing. 12 to go on the shot clock. Here's Scheidemann, drives baseline, floater, no good. Rebound, Courtney Hoffmeyer, put back up and good. Courtney Hoffmeyer has 6. It is a 16-point lead, and Spencer wants a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions. And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. The Knights lead by 16, 2:45 remaining, 4th period. And you know what? The Tigers have had their chances to get back in this game. Some missed opportunities on some open looks and things like that. But the Knights looking primed to hold on to what would be a huge victory for them and a big confidence booster going into the playoffs, as they do, I believe, start Saturday for that. Got to double check the date for you on that. But So Spencer will inbound. 2:45 remaining here, fourth period. And here comes Jada Piercy. Piercy stops right wing, gets it in to Grettinger. She hands it off to Hamilton. Here's Piercy again, left wing. Piercy drives in the lane, her layup up and good with the foul. So Spencer again with more life. As Piercy has 13, they're going to get Woucher on that foul. Woucher has 3, team has 8. Free throw on the way and good. Here's Skonoven. Skonoven makes a move, drives in the lane, her layup, no good, too strong. And I think the Knights wanted a foul, they won't get it. Here's Piercy, top of the key, wanted a 3, hands it off to Lowe. Lowe in the corner to Hamilton. Back to Piercy, right wing. Piercy drives, spins, they're gonna wave it off and they didn't quite see the call. But I think they called the foul there in the paint. 8 brings it up to 9 team fouls, so it will be a 1-and-1 for the Tigers as Scheidemann is guilty of that foul. That's her second. Here's the front end of the 1-and-1, good. So Piercy up to 15, 12-point game. Make that an 11-point game. So Unity trying to hang on. Zevenberg and looking for somewhere to go. Gets it into Skonoven. Skonoven's got room here in transition. Skonoven coast to coast. Left-handed layup up and good. Skonoven with 27. Back to a 13-point lead for the Knights. We'll see if Merchant has an answer. Driving baseline, no good. Rebound, Hamilton kicks it back out. Here's a 3 from Grettinger, left wing, too long, no good. Fight for the rebound and taken by Woucher, but she stepped out of bounds. Had a great view of that. Her toes just did barely step out. As Zevenbergen checks out, Deckers checks in. As Jera Merchant gets it in to Piercy. Piercy gets it in the paint to Grettinger. Grettinger has it taken away by Skonoven. 1:30 remaining. Here's Skonoven. Gets it up to Deckers, right wing. Deckers pumps. Gets it in the paint to Jaden Hoffmeyer. Hoffmeyer floaters blocked, but she is fouled. And she will go to the line for 2. Hoffmeyer's first free throw up and good. Hoffmeyer up to 11 as Bruning checks in for, I believe, Kendra Lowe. Second free throw on the way, and it rattles in and out, no good. Rebound fought for, jump ball called, possession arrow to Spencer. Here's Jada Piercy with it. Piercy up to Bruning. Bruning over to Merchant. Merchant back out to Bruning. She'll take a 3, right wing, good. And Spencer wants a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
I'll take a grande, no foam, triple cap, double pump vanilla latte with 3.5 ice cubes, slightly shaken, extra whip.
Yeah, that's going to be an upcharge.
Great! This one is on my Kasasa cashback checking account.
Uh-huh.
Kasasa pays me cash back on everyday debit card purchases, plus refunds on ATM withdrawal fees. Go on, take back banking and treat yourself to monthly cash rewards.
Switch to Kasasa at Iowa State Bank.
Welcome back to Unity Christian High School. Every time I think I can count out Spencer out of the game, they find a way to claw back in. It's an 11-point deficit. I mean, they need kind of a miracle here, but it's still a game. as the Tigers talk strategy at the timeout, as the Knights are up to 19 fouls and the Tigers up to 7. So any foul right now is going to send the Knights to the free throw line. Right now, a 1-and-1 situation for the Knights. So Knights to inbound. I'm assuming the Tigers will foul here and take their chances and try to get something quick back the other way. Deckers to inbound, gets it into Skonoven. Skonoven gets it up to Jaden Hoffmeyer, up to Wouchta. Her floater up and no good, blocked. And here come the Tigers, gets it up to Merchant. Merchant drives, her layup no good, but she is fouled. So Merchant has 16 tonight. Jared Merchant coming in first in the Lakes Conference in three-point percentage with 43.8%. First free throw up and rattles in and out, no good. Merchant at the line shooting, mentioned this earlier, 75% coming in. Second free throw from Merchant, good. She's up to 17. Deckers to inbound, and that's tipped away and out of bounds. The Knights will retain possession. 10-point lead here for the Knights, 51.9 seconds left to go. Deckers gets it in to Skeideman. Ooh, tough fall by the Chairs, but she is fouled. So 1-and-1 here for the Knights. They will go and shoot free throws. It'll be Skeideman at the line. And Skeideman coming in, only 2 for 3 at the line. Just kind of started getting into the games somewhat recently. First free throw up and no good. Fight for the rebound, taken by Skonoven. Skonoven dribbles it back out. Here's Skeideman. Skeideman over to Zevenbergen, and Zevenbergen's fouled. So another 1-and-1 as they got Merchant on that foul. Front end of the 1-and-1, up and good from Caitlin Zevenbergen. Zevenbergen has 6. Second on the way, no good. Jaden Hoffmeyer rebounds it out of bounds. It'll be Unity Christian ball. Great rebound by Jaden Hoffmeyer. Skeideman to inbound. Gets it into Zevenbergen, almost loses it, and she's fouled. So Zevenbergen back at the line. Merchant draws her 4th foul. Free throw on the way and no good. Into the double bonus are the Knights. So Zevenbergen gets another crack at it. Second free throw on the way and good. Zevenbergen up to 7, 12-point lead. Here comes Piercy. Piercy, step back 3, right wing, rattles on and out, no good. Rebound Deckers, 30 seconds to go. Shot clock turned off. Gets it into Zevenbergen. Zevenbergen back to Skonoven. Looks like the Tigers are done fouling. And that will be the end of this game as we approach 10 seconds left to go. And what was a fantastic all-around win for the Knights. And they get a signature win here at the end of the regular season, downing number 12, Spencer, 64-52, and a great win and a great Knights, 2BA Knights, as the girls find a way to win against a great school in Spencer, a great team in Spencer, a bigger school. But the Knights fight and claw and earn themselves a win. We'll take a break. And we'll be back here in a little bit with a little post game on the girls' game, and I'll be back after that. for a little pregame of the boys game. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball.
All the best sports shows, all the best games on 101.5 FM and 1570 AM for your college sports, University of South Dakota. For NHL coverage, Minnesota Wild. For NBA coverage, Minnesota Timberwolves. For MLB coverage, Chicago Cubs. And the best games in both college and the pros with the ESPN Radio featured games. Never miss out on the action.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. The girls game just wrapped up with the Knights taking a 64-52 victory. And I will go through a few of the final stats. First for Spencer. Jada Piercy had 16. Jared Merchant led the way with 17. Jana Grettinger had 4. Maureen McDermott fouled out. Before that, she had 5 points in the victory. In their defeat. Avery Bruning had 7, and Addison Hoban had 2. And for the Knights, Cassie Deckers had 11. Caitlin Zevenbergen had 7. Jaden Hoffmeyer had 11. Gracie Skonhoven led the way with 27. And Jaylee Woudstra had 2, and then Courtney Hoffmeyer had 6. All around great win, and Knights played great in the paint, played great scrappy defense, got a lot of steals, a lot of points in transition, especially in the first half. And all that added up to a 64-52 victory for Unity Christian. And the boys' game will start in about 15 minutes. I'll take a break. I'll be off the mic here for a little bit, then I will get you some pregame on the boys' game. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions. And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. We're about set here for the boys game, and I'll just talk a little bit about both teams. First for Spencer, they're led by head coach Corey Petzenhauser. His team is 7-10 overall and 4-4 in the Lakes Conference, and after a 4-game losing streak that spanned from January 20th to 27th, the Tigers won 3 of their last 4. They beat Cherokee, Denison, Schleswig, and Storm Lake in a row before losing to a good South Central Calhoun team 60-49 back on Saturday. They hung in for most of the game and were only down 2 at the end of the third, but SCC pulled away in the fourth on the way to an 11-point win for them. Nonetheless, the Tigers are playing some good basketball right now, and they're led by returning second-team all-conference selection Owen Olson, who also leads the team in points and is shooting close to 50% from the floor. And Riley DeWitt, who was an honorable mention selection last season, has been a great compliment to him. And overall, the Tigers have a lot of just good, well-rounded athletes. We will more than likely see Campbell Welsels off the bench. He is a Northwestern football commit, and we will probably get a look at Caleb Klein, who committed to play football at the University of Northern Iowa. So a tough opponent from a bigger school, so we'll see how the Knights match up with them. And let's talk a little bit about the Knights. They're led by head coach Cody Harskamp. They are 9-9 overall and 3-3 in the War Eagle. And the Knights, just like the Tigers, are playing some great basketball. They're in the midst of a 3-game win streak, and they have won 4 of their last 5. And just like I mentioned in the pregame on Friday night, that their only loss in that span is to MLC Floyd Valley. And they hung in that game for most of the night. And the teams they have beat during this streak are not necessarily going to make a run at a state title, but the Knights' average margin of victory in their 3-game winning streak has been 33 points. So the Knights have been taking care of business and just improving as a team. And after Van Dong's injury, there might have been a little uncertainty for this team, but we have seen Tice Van Beek play consistently well. It's also been fun to see both Braden and Dylan Bosma feed off each other. And since Dylan Bosma found his way into the starting lineup, he's been killing it from 3. He's actually worked his way up to 3rd in the conference in 3-pointers made with 37. And he is 2nd in the War Eagle in 3-point percentage at 45.1%. So who knows how far this team can go, and it will be interesting to see how they compare here to a larger school tonight who's pretty talented and have been playing some good basketball lately. So with that, we got a little under a minute and a half before we get to starting lineups, and I'll take a little bit of a break. And until then, I will see you, or you'll hear me closer to tip-off. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
As a bank that cares about supporting small businesses, American State Bank assisted hundreds of young entrepreneurs launch their first business. Starting a business can be complicated, even when it's just a lemonade stand. It's never too early to begin thinking towards your next project, and we'll be here to help make it go as smoothly as possible. Supporting entrepreneurs, no matter their age, it's what we do.
You can't replace the peace of mind that comes with knowing your animal is in good hands. Central Veterinary Clinic has been serving Sioux Center and the surrounding area for over 60 years. With a staff of 11 veterinarians, you can be sure you're getting the right care when you need it. Whether it's your companion animal or a production animal operation, Central Veterinary is committed to staying up to date on the most current medical advances and knowledge to provide your animal with the best care. See what the professionals at Central Veterinary have to offer you at centralveterinaryclinic.com.
Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Unity Christian High School for tonight's boys basketball game featuring the Spencer Tigers and your Unity Christian Knights. Let's get the starting lineups. For the Tigers, 6-foot senior, number 2, Owen Olson. And for the Knights, 6'1" sophomore, number 12, Braden Bosma. For the Tigers, 5'10" senior, number 3, Riley DeWitt. And for the Knights, the 6-foot freshman, number 21, Dylan Bosma. For the Tigers, the 6'6" senior, number 15, Gavin Monahan. And for the Knights, 5'11" senior, number 23, Trevor Liriga. For the Tigers, the 5'10" senior, number 21, Gavin Timmer. And for the Knights, the 6'2" senior, number 10, Tyson Lee. And for the Tigers, that's 6'5", senior, number 42, Caleb Klein. And for the Knights, 6'2", sophomore, number 40, Jackson Vogel. Tigers are coached by Corey Peschenhauser, assisted by Randy Barrett and Lucas.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. We just got the starting lineups, and in case you didn't hear them, I'll say them again. First for Spencer, we'll see a senior number 2, Owen Olson, a senior number 3, Riley DeWitt, a senior number 15, Gavin Honkamp, a senior number 21, Gavin Timmer, and a senior number 42, the UNI football commit, Caleb Klein. And for the Knights, we'll see a senior number 10, Tice Van Beek, a sophomore number 12, Braden Bosma, a freshman number 21, Dylan Bosma, a senior number 23, Trevor Waringa, and a sophomore number 40, Jackson Vogel. Tigers have a lot of height, at least on their starting lineup. We'll see how the Knights can match up with that. Knights have a lot of great shooters, so we'll see how that yin and yang kind of works out. But the Tigers win the tip-off. Here's Riley DeWitt, hands it off to Klein. Cross-court over to Honkamp. Honkamp at 6'6", gets it over to Olson. Here's Gavin Timmer back to Klein. Klein over to DeWitt. DeWitt back to Olson, left wing. He hands it off. This is Honkamp with it again. He throws it out of bounds, and it will be Unity Christian basketball. And Van Beek gets it in to Dylan Bosma. Bosma over to Vogel in the corner. Vogel drives baseline, his floater up and no good. Off the glass, too strong. And Spencer with the rebound. Here's Owen Olson. Olson spins, drives, his layup up and good. Owen Olson gets the Tigers on the board. It's 2-0. Here's Braden. Dylan Bosma with it. Take that back. Gets it into Vogel near baseline. Back out to Dylan Bosma. His 3, no good. Rebound, Braden Bosma. Block from behind. It will be Unity Christian basketball. So Tice Van Beek to inbound, gets it in to Jackson Vogel, hands it off to Van Beek. He'll drive in the paint, his layup up in, no good, too strong off the glass. And here come the Tigers back the other way. This is Owen Olson, pull up, think a long 2, take that back, that's a 3. 3 for Owen Olson. And it's an early 5-0 lead for Spencer. Here's Dylan Bosma. Bosma stops, looking for somewhere to go. Gets up to Tice Van Beek. Van Beek drives in the lane, has it almost taken away, fight for it on the floor. They're going to stop play, jump ball called, possession arrow, Unity Christian. So a bit of a rough start here for the Knights against a bigger Spencer squad here. There's Jackson Vogel with it right wing. Going to call a foul on Spencer. And they're going to get Riley DeWitt on that foul. That's his first, team's first. Van Beek in it to Vogel. Vogel hands it off to Braden Bosma. Pumps, drives the lane, pull up a jumper, left elbow, good. Braden Bosma gets the Knights on the board. It's 5-2. There's Owen Olson, hands it off to Honkamp. Honkamp over to Timmer. Timmer gets it over to Olson. Olson drives baseline. His layup up and no good. Rebound Vogel. And here comes Van Beek back the other way up to Braden Bosma. Drives baseline, reverse layup up and good. Impressive shot from Braden Bosma. It's 5-4. Here comes. That's a block from Braden Bosma. That got the crowd fired up. Here come the Knights back the other way. Braden Bosma, 3, good! What a series of events for Braden Bosma. He's got 7 And he single-handedly got the Knights back in this game. Here's DeWitt, gets it off to Olson. Olson, right wing, hands it off to Klein. Klein hands it off to Timmer. Timmer over to Olson. Here's Honkamp with it, right wing. Honkamp looking for somewhere to go. Hands it off to Olson. Olson, deep three, no good. And a rebound, Unity Christian. Here's Braden Bosma. Bosma drives back out to Dylan Bosma, and that's out of bounds off his hands. And it'll be Spencer basketball. A few substitutions here. Jack Behrens checks in, as well as Caden Miller. And Ross Carlson checks in for the Tigers. So here's Riley DeWitt, hands it off to Behrens, and he gets it over to Carlson. Carlson drives, kicks it back out to Miller, and that almost goes out of bounds to Olson. This is Behrens with it over to DeWitt. DeWitt back to Behrens. Behrens almost taken by Bosma, taken by Miller. He gets it back to Behrens. His left-handed layup up and good. Jack Behrens on the board. It's tied at 7. Here's Dylan Bosma. Bosma cross court to Wieringa. Wieringa into Vogel near the top of the key. Pumps, drives, spins, gets it over to Wieringa. Wieringa back to Van Beek. Van Beek back over to Bosma. His three, no good. Rebound, Dylan Bosma. Gets it back to Vogel. Vogel spins, layup up and no good, but there is a foul. So Jackson Vogel will go to the line for 2. And Vogel coming in third in the War Eagle field goal percentage, exactly at 60%. And from the free throw line, Vogel is shooting at an 80% clip, 20 for 25. First free throw on the way and good. As new substitution, Campbell Wessels in for Spencer. And a second free throw on the way from Vogel is good. 9-7, Unity Christian leads. Jackson Popema checks in for Vogel. Here come the Tigers back the way. This is Wessels over to DeWitt. Back to Wessels, finally gets it across the timeline. Over to Caden Miller. Miller in to Wessels, drives baseline, his layup up and good. Campbell Wessels, his first bucket of the game. We're tied at 9, and what looks like it's going to be a back and forth affair here. Van Beek, left wing in the paint, taken away by Spencer. Here's Jack Behrens with it, and the paint tipped away by Tice Van Beek, out of bounds. It will remain with Spencer. And a new substitution, Owen Olson in for Riley DeWitt. Like Spencer loves a lot of substitutions, which obviously keeps me focused and on my toes. Wessels in to Behrens. Behrens, floater, no good. Gets his own rebound near baseline, and it's taken by Braden Bosma. Bosma coast to coast. Gets it off to Steven Scherzer, just checked in. Here's Dylan Bosma, pumps. Gets it in to Popema, and they're going to call a foul. Looks like a push on Jack Behrens. Caleb Klein checks in. And Klein actually the 29th ranked football player in Iowa this past fall. So big dude out there on the court. But here's Popema, gets it into Tice Van Beek. Back to Popema, he'll drive his layup up and good. Jackson Popema with his first bucket of the game. It's 11-9, Unity leads. Here's Wessels back out to Miller. Miller in the paint to Klein. Klein works his way in the post. It's up and good. Caleb Klein just kind of bullied his way in there to tie it back up at 11. Braden Bosma up to Dylan Bosma. Bosma back to Schurz. Schurz over to Tice Van Beek. Van Beek pumps, drives baseline, back out to Dylan Bosma. 3 from the top of the key. Good! Dylan Bosma, 3-point lead for the Knights. Here comes Spencer. Here's a floater that's up and no good, but a foul call. That was Ross Carlson for the Tigers. foul called on Dylan Bosma. His first, team's first. Carlson's first free throw up and good. Carlson actually coming in only 11 for 24 at the free throw line. 14-12, the Unity Christian lead. Second free throw on its way and good. Looks like Gavin Timmer checks back in, as well as Riley DeWitt. So here come the Knights. Dylan Bosma stops, gets it over to Schurz. Schurz cross court to Braden Bosma. Bosma step back three from the corner. Good! Braden Bosma off to a great start. He's got 10 already. It's 17-13. Olsen right wing. Pump, and his three's blocked by Van Beek. Van Beek loses control, taken back by Spencer. Here's Klein in the paint, layup up and good. Caleb Klein with 4 so far. Here's Dylan Bosma, crossover dribble. Bosma gets it over to Braden Bosma. Cross it over, drive near baseline, gets it cross court to Dylan Bosma. Bosma pumps. Cross court back to Braden. Here's Schurz left wing. Back to Braden Bosma. Deep three from him. Good! Braden Bosma with 13 already. 3 threes. And it's 20-15. Unity Christian leads. Here's DeWitt. DeWitt drives. His underhand layup. Good with the foul. Riley DeWitt with a strong finish at the rim. With his first bucket of the game. They got Jackson Popema with that foul. That's his first. Team's second. Braden Bosma will check out. Trevor Wieringa checks back in. Free throw on the way and good from Riley DeWitt. Gets his point total up to 3. Here's Steven Schurz, right wing, cross court to Tice Van Beek. Van Beek drives back out to Wieringa. Here's Schurz, has it taken away by Olsen. Olsen brings it back the other way in transition. His layup is up and good. He's got 7. Tie game at 20. Dylan Bosma, right wing, gets it off to Wieringa. Wieringa into Schurz. Schurz shakes, gets it back out to Dylan Bosma in the corner. Back to Schurz. Schurz crosses over between the legs. Good ball movement. He gets it over to Van Beek. Van Beek drives, trap, gets it over to Schurz. 3 left to go on the shot clock. 3 from Dylan Bosma, rattles it out, no good. Rebound, Spencer, jump ball called, and possession arrow toward Spencer. Braden Bosma checks in for Dylan Bosma. And Caleb Klein to inbound. Gets it in to Riley DeWitt. Approaching 30 seconds left to go, first period. Shot clock turned off. Spencer might be playing for one last shot here. DeWitt working on Braden Bosma. 10 to go. In to Honkamp. Honkamp cross court. This is Timmer with it. Timmer back out to DeWitt. 3 to go. Drives baseline. Layup up and no good. And that will be the end of an exciting first period, tied at 20. We'll take a break. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital.
Customers deserve great internet too. This is Doug from EverTech. You deserve EverTech's no limits internet and the personal service that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bringing customers like you reliable, unlimited internet. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
And we welcome you back to Unity Christian High School. Jordan DeSmit here with you for the boys game. And as you might be able to tell by the score, an exciting start to this game. Braden Bosma had a great start, got a huge block, and knocked down about 3 threes. He's got 13 to start this game. Dylan Bosma's knocked down a 3 as well. Popham has 2. Vogel has 2. And it was looking like it's going to be a back-and-forth game and an exciting finish. So Unity will start with the basketball. Van Beek to inbound. Gets it in to Dylan Bosma. Starting 5 out there for the Knights. Here's Tice Van Beek back out to Dylan Bosma. He'll take a 3, left wing, good! Bosma brothers came to play tonight. Bosma has his second 3. 23-20, Unity Christian leads. It's Caden Miller with it over to Riley DeWitt. DeWitt back out to Honkamp. Honkamp over to Wessel's left wing. Crossover dribble back out to Honkamp. Honkamp into Klein. Klein in the paint, loses the control, taken by Braden Bosma. And they're going to call a travel on Braden Bosma. So Spencer to inbound. Here's Riley DeWitt with it. DeWitt crosses over back out to Honkamp. Honkamp over to Miller, hands it off to Wessels. Wessels drives, kicks it back out to Honkamp in the corner. Honkamp to Miller, top of the key, hands it off to Wessels. 15 left to go on the shot clock. Here's Miller again in the paint to Klein. Klein trapped, and they're going to call a foul on a Tice Van Beek. Harskamp didn't like it. So that's Van Beek's first. Team's third, 6:56 remaining, second period. Here's Miller with it. Miller hands it off to DeWitt. DeWitt drives, loses control, gains it back. Back out to Miller. Miller drives back out to Wessels. Wessels stops, back to Miller, left wing. Miller back to Wessels, left wing. Wessels with it again, over to Honkamp. 8 to go on the shot clock. Here's DeWitt. DeWitt over to Miller. His 3, left wing, too short, no good. Rebound, Honkamp. Back to DeWitt, left wing. Good defense, just couldn't get the board. Here's DeWitt driving. Baseline, blocked from behind from Trevor Wieringa. Overall, good defensive possession there. Here's Vogel. Gets it over to Wieringa. Wieringa to Vogel again. Pumps back out to Braden Bosma. Bosma, corner to Dylan Bosma. His 3 rattles on and out, no good. And rebound taken by Dylan Bosma. Here's Vogel, that's tipped away and taken by Spencer. Here's Honkamp free in the lane. Blocked from behind by Braden Bosma. Here comes Van Beek back the other way. Here's Wieringa for 3, right wing. Rattles on and out, no good. And rebound Spencer. If he would have connected on that, this crowd would have gone nuts. But here's DeWitt. DeWitt over to Wessels. Wessels will take a 3, too long, no good. And a fight for the rebound. They're going to call a jump ball possession arrow, Spencer. And a mass substitution for Spencer. Owen Olson, Gavin Timmer, Cale Bruning, as well as Jack Behrens checks in. Behrens to inbound, gets it in to Olson. Olson, the second team all-conference selection last year, stops, pull up 3, too short, no good, and rebound Braden Bosma. Hands it off to Tice Van Beek. Here's Wieringa in the corner. He'll drive baseline. They're going to call a double dribble on Trevor Wieringa. So Spencer to inbound. Not a ton of scoring here so far, but it's still been pretty exciting. Here's Owen Olson. Olsen drives in the paint, stops his layup, no good, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. They got Vogel on that foul. That's his first. Team's 4th. First free throw on the way from Olsen is no good. And Olsen coming in has made 2/3 of his free throws. He's 48 of 72. And Olsen's second free throw is up and good. He's up to 8 points. Here comes Braden Bosma. Bosma loses control, taken by DeWitt, up the court to, that's Olsen who lays it up and in. Olsen with 10, it's back to a tied game, 23 apiece. Here's Dylan Bosma, and that's taken away by DeWitt. DeWitt bringing it back the other way. Couple turnovers here in the paint, fight for it on the floor, jump ball called, possession arrow, Unity Christian. So Coach Harscap not too happy. His team's been a little sloppy with the basketball the past couple possessions. There's Dylan Bosma. Bosma crossover dribble. Gets it into Van Beek near the free throw line. In the paint to Vogel. Vogel back out to Wieringa. Here's Dylan Bosma, 3, left wing, good! Dylan Bosma makes up for it. It is a 3-point game. Bosma has 3 threes and 9 points. Here's the pass in the paint. That's up and good. From Jack Behrens, and a good find and a good finish from Behrens. It's a 1-point game. Here's Bosma, gets it into Wieringa in the corner. Wieringa stops, double team, jump ball called, and it's going to be Spencer basketball. Good defense by Spencer to force that. And it looks like Steven Schurz will check in for the Knights. Will check in for Wieringa. So Jack Behrens gets it into Owen Olsen. And he'll bring it back across the timeline. Olsen drives, back out. Here's Cale Bruning over to Riley DeWitt. DeWitt over to Carlson, left wing. Carlson up to Owen Olsen, near baseline to Behrens. Behrens back to DeWitt, 3, right wing, good. DeWitt with his first 3 of the night, and the Tigers have a lead. It's 28-26. Here's Van Beek thrown away, taken by Owen Olsen. Here he comes in transition. His layup up and good. Just like that, it's a 4-point lead, and Cody Harscap wants timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Rural customers deserve great internet too. You deserve EverTech's No Limits Internet and the quality local services that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bring customers like you reliable and unlimited internet. Up to 50 megabits across 22 counties. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech. Internet where you live.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School here in Orange City. The Knights find themselves down 30-26, 3:11 left to go here in the first half. The Tigers have gone a little bit of a run here. I believe about a 7-3 run. We'll see if the Knights have an answer. They've shot well from 3 so far. Here's Dylan Bosma. Bringing it back across the timeline, hands it off to Schurz. Schurz in the corner to Bosma, and his pass over the head of Braden Bosma. Here's DeWitt. He's blocked from behind by Braden, taken by Spencer. His layup is up and good. That's Caden Miller on that layup, and the Tigers are up by 6. Here's Braden Bosma. Bosma back cross court to Tice Van Beek. Van Beek drives baseline, floater up and no good. Rebound, Caleb Klein of Spencer. Nice hit, huge stop. Here's Owen Olsen, pull up 3, no good. And rebound, Braden Bosma. Bosma up the court to Dylan Bosma. He'll drive baseline, kick it back out to Van Beek. Drives baseline. His footer this time rattling it out, no good. But a foul on the floor. Back-to-back floaters there on the baseline that Van Beek has missed. Jackson Popema checks in for Vogel. And Wieringa checks in for Braden Bosma. And Vandenberg checks in for Schurz. Van Beek to inbound from the baseline. Looking for somewhere to go. Needs to hurry up. Gets it into Wieringa. Here's Dylan Bosma into Jackson Popema. Back out to Wieringa. Here's Vandenberg. Vandenberg over to Wieringa. Here's Bosma for three from the corner. Good! Dylan Bosma with his fourth three of the night. It's back to a 3-point game. Here's DeWitt. DeWitt over to Carlson. Carlson cross court to Miller. Here's DeWitt again with it. Back to Olsen in the paint to Klein. Klein double teamed off a foot, but it's taken by DeWitt. Under 2 to go. Here's Olsen. And here's Carlson, his layup up and good. From the baseline, it's a 5-point lead again. Here's Dylan Bosma with it. Bosma behind the back, gets it off to Wieringa. Wieringa stops cross court to Vandenberg. He'll get it back to Wieringa. Wieringa to Vandenberg again, back to Wieringa. Here's Van Beek. Van Beek drives, and that's taken away by DeWitt. Here's Olsen back the other way in transition. His layup is up and good. 7-point lead for the Tigers. Here's Vandenberg back to Van Beek. Van Beek pull up three. Good. Just what the Knights needed. They've been shooting really well from three all night. That's Van Beek's first three. Under a minute to go. 36-32 is your score. Olsen three from the corner. Good. Owen Olsen brings it back to a 7-point lead. Here's Elliott Vandenberg. Vandenberg in it to, here's Popema in the paint. Popema blowing up with it. Good, and the foul. Jackson Popema with a strong finish. And he'll go to the line for one. Popema at the free throw line this season. Only 12 of 45, but a huge one here as Vandenberg checks out. Braden Bosma checks back in. Free throw is up. No good. Rebound, Klein. 5-point lead for the Tigers. About a 2-3 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Riley DeWitt with it. Crosses the timeline, and the Spencer's going to call a timeout. We will take a timeout with them. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Since 1998, Ground Effects in Sioux Center has been Northwest Iowa's premier landscaping and garden center, providing a full variety of trees, shrubs, perennials, and annuals. Visit scgroundeffects.com and use their plant finder tool to help you find the perfect plant for your home. Ground Effects also has a full staff of experts and designers to turn your landscaping dreams into a reality. Come see what Ground Effects in Sioux Center has to offer.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. It is a 39-34 lead for the Tigers. 27.3 seconds left to go. Just coming out of a timeout. Spencer with the basketball. Really entertaining first half so far. And maybe some confusion on where they're supposed to inbound it. So back and forth between the referees and Coach Harskamp. And so they'll bring up the inbound by the half-court stripe. Here's Olsen into DeWitt. DeWitt gets it into Klein, back out to Olsen. Olsen back to DeWitt near the logo. $10 to go on the game clock. Here's DeWitt. 5 to go on the shot clock. Here's Olsen. Olsen needs to get it off, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. So 1.1 seconds left. And one last heave before halftime. That's blocked and no good. And we will go into halftime with the Knights down at 39-34. We'll take a break. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital.
Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration has always operated under strong values aimed at exceeding client needs. The relationship with their clients begins on the first day of contact and only ends once you are fully satisfied with the work. When you hire Notaboom Electric, you can count on them for the results you want and need. They offer a number of services for residential and commercial facilities to schools and churches. Discover the advantage of working with Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration in Orange City today. Wishing good luck to the Knights.
When each new day begins, we're here. When you want new technology that's tested and proven, we're here. When you need a sounding board or just a good story, we're here. For an ally whose local roots run as deep as yours, or to make next year the best year yet, we'll be where we've been all along, with you from the word go.
Only Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
Probably the biggest thing that we do a little bit different than a lot of schools is the live work side of the world. So when we teach our students, we actually, if you look around the shop and see what they're working on, in most cases it's a customer car, and so they get real world application.
Our engineering design program is basically drawing components, manufacturing of the components, and then we get into the inspection of the components. So they got to create it, make it, and inspect it just as they would in industry.
Unity Christian is proud to have these businesses as partners, helping to ensure the success of our students now and into the future.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. About 7.5 minutes before we start the beginning of the second half. I'll go through a little bit of the first half numbers and what's been an awesome first half. Both teams scoring really well, the Knights shooting really well from three, and the Tigers really using their size well inside as well, and taking advantage of Unity being a little undersized here in this game, and kind of making great post moves in the paint to kind of make their living here tonight. But I'll go through some of the stats here. Owen Olsen for Spencer has 17 tonight. Gotten a couple of easy layups in transition, and he's played a good first half. Riley DeWitt has 6. Campbell Wessels has 2. Ross Carlson has 4. Caden Miller has 2. Jack Behrens has 4. And then Caleb Klein has 4 as well. And that all adds up to about 39 points for Spencer. And on the other side for the Knights, Tice Van Beek knocked down 1 3. He's got 3. Braden Bosma has 13. And he has knocked down 3 threes here tonight so far. And Dylan Bosma has 12, all on 3 threes. And Jackson Popema has 4. And then Jackson Vogel has 2. And gearing up to be an exciting finish here. We'll see how the Knights try to game plan against Spencer's bigs here in the second half and see what adjustments they make. I'm assuming you got to keep both Bosmas in for as long as you can, because they're both lights out from 3, really from anywhere across the perimeter. So That's your first half recap, and I think I'll go ahead and take a break, and I'll be back with you at the beginning of the second half. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Take a grande, no foam, triple cap, double pump vanilla latte with 3.5 ice cubes, slightly shaken, extra whip.
Yeah, that's going to be an upcharge.
Great! This one is on my Kasasa cashback checking account. Kasasa pays me cash back on everyday debit card purchases, plus refunds on ATM withdrawal fees. Go on, take back banking and treat yourself to monthly cash rewards.
Switch to Kasasa at Iowa State Bank.
Unity Christian is proud to have these businesses as partners, helping to ensure the success of our students now and into the future. All the best sports shows, all the best games on 101.5 FM and 1570 AM for your college sports, University of South Dakota. For NHL coverage, Minnesota Wild. For NBA coverage, Minnesota Timberwolves. For MLB coverage, Chicago Cubs. And the best games in both college and the pros with the ESPN Radio featured games. Never miss out on the action.
As a bank that cares about supporting small businesses, American State Bank assisted hundreds of young entrepreneurs launch their first business. Starting a business can be complicated, even when it's just a lemonade stand. It's never too early to begin thinking towards your next project, and we'll be here to help make it go as smoothly as possible. Supporting entrepreneurs, no matter their age, it's what we do.
You can't replace the peace of mind that comes with knowing your animal is in good hands. Central Veterinary Clinic has been serving Sioux Center and the surrounding area for over 60 years. With a staff of 11 veterinarians, you can be sure you're getting the right care when you need it. Whether it's your companion animal or a production animal operation, Central Veterinary is committed to staying up to date on the most current medical advances and knowledge to provide your animal with the best care. See what the professionals at Central Veterinary have to offer you at centralveterinaryclinic.com.
Customers deserve great internet too. This is Doug from EverTech. You deserve EverTech's no limits internet and the personal service that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bringing customers like you reliable, unlimited internet. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
Rural customers deserve great internet too. You deserve EverTech's no limits internet and the quality local services that comes with it. We've dedicated 32 years to bring customers like you reliable and unlimited internet, up to 50 megabits across 22 counties. It's internet you can count on. Call or email our Everly office to get started. You and your family need internet with unlimited use, no contracts, and no overages. You need EverTech. Visit evertech.net to learn more. EverTech, internet where you live.
Since 1998, Ground Effects in Sioux Center has been Northwest Iowa's premier landscaping and garden center, providing a full variety of trees, shrubs, perennials, and annuals. Visit scgroundeffects.com and use their plant finder tool to help you find the perfect plant for your home. Ground Effects also has a full staff of experts and designers to turn your landscaping dreams into a reality. Come see what Ground Effects in Sioux Center has to offer.
Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration has always operated under strong values aimed at exceeding client needs. The relationship with their clients begins on the first day of contact and only ends once you are fully satisfied with the work. When you hire Notaboom Electric, you can count on them for the results you want and need. They offer a number of services, for residential and commercial facilities to schools and churches. Discover the advantage of working with Notaboom Electric and Refrigeration in Orange City today. Wishing good luck to the Knights.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. About 20 seconds left to go before we start the second half, and I can't wait to bring that to you. This is Jordan DeSmit. Give you the call here on the Fuller Digital Solutions, and really a back and forth affair this entire game. Spencer went on a bit of a run there to end the first half, and I'm guessing these two are just going to keep going at it here to the end of the game. But you probably just heard the buzzer, and both teams huddling up and gearing up for what should be an awesome second half. And once again, the Bosma brothers are leading the way. Dylan Bosma has 12. Braden Bosma has 13. Both of them shooting great from three. We'll see if they can continue that as the Knights will start with the basketball. As Tice Van Beek gets it in to Dylan Bosma. Bosma crosses half court. Gets it up near baseline, passes it back to Tice Van Beek. Van Beek, crossover dribble, drives, floater off the glass. Good. Good start to the half for the Knights. Tice Van Beek lays it up and in. It's a 39-36 deficit now. Here's Owen Olson with it. Olson up to Timmer. Here's Timmer with it again in the corner. In the paint to Klein. Klein bullying his way, gets it back out to Honkamp. His three, no good. Fight for the rebound off of Spencer, and it will be Unity Christian basketball. So here comes Dylan Bosma. Just underway here in the second half. Here's Vogel in the corner. He'll drive baseline. Kick it out to Van Beek. Gets in the hands of Bosma. Step back. Gets it out to Van Beek. Van Beek pumps, dribbles in the lane, and he tries to get it to Dylan Bosma. A little high, but he corralled it. Here's Braden Bosma for three. Rattles it out, no good. Fight for the rebound taken by Wieringa. Wieringa drives in the paint, gets it into Vogel, but they're going to call a foul on the floor. So really great effort all around for the Knights. Van Beek will inbound, and I believe they did get Klein on that foul. That's his first, team's first. Van Beek in to Vogel. Vogel back out to Braden Bosma, over to Dylan Bosma. Here's Van Beek in the corner. His three, too long, no good. Rebound, Spencer. Here comes Owen Olson back the other way. Olson stops, pull up, jumper, no good. Rebound, fought for, taken by Klein. Klein back out to Olson. Olson works off a screen. Back out to Timmer. He hands it off to DeWitt. DeWitt, guarded by Vogel, gets it back out to Honkamp. Honkamp hands it off to Olson. 15 left to go on the shot clock. In the paint to Klein off the back of the backboard, and it's going to be out of bounds. It will be Unity Christian basketball. I think Klein just kind of lost track of where he was as his layup went off the back of the backboard. It is Unity Christian basketball. Here's Bosma. Bosma drives. His floater, no good. Rebound taken by Wieringa, almost a backcourt violation, and that's taken by Owen Olson. Olson in transition. Olson goes up, blocked by Bosma, put back, no good, and rebound Braden Bosma. And they're going to call a foul there on Honkamp as he was aggressively trying to take it from Braden Bosma. Couple new substitutions. For Spencer, looks like Ross Carlson as well as Jack Behrens check in, and now Caden Miller checks in as well. 5:45 remaining third period. Here's Tice Van Beek. Van Beek hands it off to Bosma. Bosma left wing, gets it off to Wieringa. Wieringa drives in, he hands it off to Bosma. It's three, good! Dylan Bosma with another three. He's got 15, back to a tie game. Carlson, layup, no good. Fight for the rebound. I think they called a foul down there. Yes, they did. Looks like they got Wieringa on the foul. There's Olsen with it left wing. Olsen over to DeWitt. DeWitt drives in the paint, his layup up and a no good, but he was fouled. And the foul was on the floor, so I believe no shot. They got Braden Boswell on that foul. That's his first, the team's second. Here's Carlson. He hands it off to Olsen. Olsen drives. Layup, good. Owen Olsen's got 19. And Spencer jumps back out in front. Here's Tice Van Beek. Van Beek looking for somewhere to go. Just floats it up, no good. Gets his own rebound. And they're going to call a foul on the floor. So Riley DeWitt guilty of that, team's third. Jackson Vogel drives baseline, his layup blocked from behind, gets his own rebound, and they're going to call a foul on the floor. Kind of thought this would happen. And some layups were going to get blocked just with how big the Spencer team is. But Owen Olsen on the foul there. Here's Vogel. And he throws it away out of bounds. It'll be Spencer basketball. There's Riley DeWitt with it. DeWitt gets it off to Owen Olsen. Back to DeWitt. DeWitt gets it in to Miller. Drives baseline, kicks it back out to Olsen. His floater rattles on and out. No good. Rebound, Braden Bosma. Bosma almost loses it. He's got to get it across, and he just does. Bosma drives in the paint, his layup up and good. Braden Bosma ties it back up. Both him and Dylan at 15, tied at 41. There's Miller with it in the paint. Near the paint, kicks it back out to DeWitt. DeWitt three, left wing, good. And a timeout on the floor. We will take a timeout with, and you're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
When each new day begins, we're here. When you want new technology that's tested and proven, we're here. When you need a sounding board or just a good story, we're here. For an ally whose local roots run as deep as yours, or to make next year the best year yet, we'll be where we've been all along, with you from the word go.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. 4:02 remaining, third period, and the Tigers lead the Knights 44-41 after a clutch three there by Riley DeWitt, one of their all-conference selections out of the Lakes Conference. And so we're just getting out of this timeout. As we'll see what kind of answer the Knights have after a big three from the Tigers. So Tice Van Beek to inbound, gets it in it to Dylan Bosma, back to Van Beek. He'll bring it across the timeline. Get it up to Wieringa. Wieringa back to Braden Bosma. Here's Wieringa in the corner. Wieringa drives, has it stripped away, taken by Braden Bosma. He got a shoulder to the face, actually. Looks like he's all right. So they actually got a foul there on Riley DeWitt. That's his third. Team's fifth already. Here's Dylan Bosma. Bosma crossover dribble, hands it off to Braden Bosma. Bosma drives, stops, pull up, jumper, good. Braden Bosma getting everything to fall. It's a 44-43 game. Here's Riley DeWitt. DeWitt back out to Carlson. Here's DeWitt with it again. DeWitt drives top of the key, gets it back to Carlson, left wing. And here's a pass in the paint. That's up and blocked by Tice Van Beek. Wessel stuffed. It's taken by Braden Bosma back the other way. In transition, Bosma, Euro step floater, no good, but he is fouled. So Bosma will go to the line for 2, and that's actually DeWitt's 4th. They're going to sub him out. And Bosma's first free throw up and no good. About the only thing he hasn't hit yet tonight. But Bosma at the free throw line coming in 39-55, about, if you round up, a 71% free throw shooter. Second free throw on its way, and no good. Bosma misses both. It goes out of bounds. It's Unity Christian basketball. So Van Beek to inbound, gets it into Popma, back out to Braden Bosma. In the corner to Van Beek, loses control. They're going to call a foul on Spencer. Spencer fans don't like it, but they're going to get a hand count for a second. And Tice Van Beek, with it being the 7th team foul for the Tigers, will go to the line for a 1-and-1 already. Front end of the 1-and-1, no good. Rebound, Braden Bosma, put back, no good. And rebound, Spencer coming back the other way. Owen Olsen gets it up to Campbell Wessels. Back to Olsen. Back cross court to Wessels. Wessels to, this is Barons with it, back out. Owen Olsen with it again. Olsen to Wessels, back to Honkamp, and he gets it off to Ross Carlson. He gets it off to Barons in the corner, back to Olsen. Here's Wessels with it again. 3 to go on the shot clock, taken away by Van Beek. Up to Bosma. Bosma goes up, finger roll up and in. Bosma has 19. Knights had the lead, 45-44. Wessels over to Olsen. Almost a backcourt violation. Here's Olsen with it again. 2 minutes left to go, third period. Here's Honkamp in the corner, gets it off to Wessels. Here's Carlson. Carlson at the top of the key. Back to Olsen. Olsen pumps, drives, and an underhanded layup, no good. A rebound taken by Spencer. Put back, and no good, but there is. Actually, take that back. It's going to be Unity Christian basketball. We're behind the backboard. I thought the whistle was a foul, but the ball went behind the backboard. I think the entire Spencer crowd wanted a foul there. Not going to get it. Dylan Bosma has the basketball. Bosma with it again. Bosma cross court to Van Beek, back to Braden Bosma. Here's Van Beek with it again. He tries to hand it off, taken by Spencer. Here comes Olsen back the other way. 1.5 minutes left to go, third period. Olsen has it left wing, pump fake. Drives in the paint, his layup up and no good, but there is a foul. So Jackson Popema, guilty of that foul. His second, team's third. Olsen at the line for 2, and I should have said this before, but every stat that I say for Spencer is only through their first 15 games. I'm missing 2 of their games. But the first free throw up and good from Olsen. He's got 20. A few new substitutions, Klein and Bruningen. But through 15 games, Olsen was shooting 2/3, 66.7% from free throw. Second free throw up and good. And Tigers had the lead again. Here's Tice Van Beek. Van Beek gets it into Wieringa near baseline, out of bounds, out on Spencer. It'll be Unity Christian ball. Van Beek into Dylan Bosma, 3 from the corner, no good. And rebound Schurz in the paint to Popma, into Van Beek, his layup up and good. Tice Van Beek has 7. Knights regain the lead, is 47-46. It's Gavin Timmer, under a minute to go, third period, into Olsen, right elbow. Back out to, this is Klein with it. Here's Bruning, kicks it back to Olsen. Here's Wessels, back over to Bruning. In the paint to Klein. Klein working through a double team. He's fouled. Team's 4th foul. Unity's 4th foul, I should say. And the foul on Tice Van Beek. That's his 2nd. Klein's first free throw up and too short, no good. Caleb Klein, like I said, through their first 15 games, 9 of 17 from the line. Hasn't been there often. Second free throw up and no good. And rebound Knights. Here comes Trevor Wieringa back the other way. Back to Schurz. Schurz stops, back to Wieringa, right wing, back to Schurz. There's Wieringa again, back to Schurz, back to Wieringa. Wieringa will get it back to Schurz. Here's Dylan Bosma, left wing, in the paint to Tice Van Beek, back to Schurz. He'll take a 3, right wing, good! Steven Schurz, his first points of the Knights. 50-46, Unity leads. Here's Wessels over to Olsen. Olsen stops, foul called. Foul called on Unity. And they're going to get Tice Van Beek again. That's his 3rd. He'll check out. Braden Bosma checks in. 4.6 remaining. Unity has 5 fouls. And Spencer has 7. Here's the inbound into Olsen. Olsen pull up 3, no good. And rebound taken by Bosma, but that will be the end of the 3rd period with the Knights leading 50-46. We'll take a break. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
And we welcome you back to Unity Christian High School. The Knights trying to hold on to a 4-point lead here. They lead 50-46, just entering the 4th period. Knights scored 16 in the 3rd and held the Tigers to 7. So 8 minutes left to go in this game. As the Tigers bring out, looks like they got Klein, DeWitt, Timmer, Bruning, and Campbell Wessels out there. The Knights have Wieringa, Vogel, Schurz, Dylan Bosma, and Braden Bosma. Here's Bruning with it. Bruning right wing, gets it in to, and here's Bruning with it again, right wing, back out to DeWitt. DeWitt crossover dribble. Kicks it back out to Timmer. Timmer over to Bruning, his 3, right wing, no good, off the mark. And a good effort on the rebound, but it's taken by Wieringa, but they're going to get a foul on Bruning. That is Bruning's first, team's 8th. And the Knights will shoot a 1-and-1. Wieringa will shoot a 1-and-1. And Wieringa coming in 7 for 15 from the line, 46.7%. And the first of the 1-and-1 is up and mousing it out, no good. Rebound Gavin Timmer. Here's DeWitt bringing it back the other way. DeWitt over to Wessels. Here's Bruning with it. Bruning into Timmer in the corner. Back to DeWitt, left wing. DeWitt top of the key, back to Timmer, left wing. Cross court over to Wessels. Wessels drives, pull up, a jumper, no good. Someone fell on the floor, but it's rebound. Unity Christian. Here's Wieringa with it, right wing, over to Dylan Bosma, back to Wieringa. Wieringa over to Schurz. Schurz cross court to Dylan Bosma. His three, good! Dylan Bosma has 18, and we have a timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Unity Christian basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
I like living in the dorms at NCC because it's a short walk to class. We do get free perks on campus. We get free laundry, we get free cable, free internet, free utilities. I do feel like I'm getting college experience at NCC.
At NCC, we have EMT classes that cover many things: trauma emergency, medical emergencies, all the way to delivering a baby. There's just many more opportunities for EMS that allow you to grow not only as a person, but in your career as well.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. The Knights off to their biggest lead of the night. They lead by 7, and they have just been unbelievable from 3. Both Dylan and Braden Bosma have been great. Tice Van Beek sits down a triple as well. And I believe, yes, Steven Schurz did knock down a 3 for his only points of the game. But Braden Bosma is 19, Dylan Bosma is 18, Steven Schurz is 3, Tice Van Beek has 7, Jackson Vogel has 2. And we'll see if the Knights can seal the deal. Tigers never out of it. They've showed that they will hang here with the Knights for as long as it takes. But the Knights looking to get up past the 500 mark. They come in 9-9. And this again would be a huge win for them going into the playoffs and a great confidence booster. Tigers to inbound. Here's Riley DeWitt. DeWitt over, back to DeWitt. DeWitt trap, gets it in at 2. They're going to call a travel on a Gavin Honkamp. So travel on Honkamp in the paint. Knights take over on a turnover. Bosma up to Van Beek. Van Beek gets it across the timeline, almost a backcourt violation. Here's Dylan Bosma, back to Braden Bosma, back to Dylan. Dylan drives baseline, gets into the paint to Vogel. Vogel can't finish. Rebound, Spencer. Here comes Olsen. Olsen over to DeWitt. DeWitt gets it into Timmer, back to DeWitt. DeWitt back to Timmer near the corner. Timber gets it into Honkamp near baseline. And they're going to call a 3-second violation on the Tigers. So here come the Knights back the other way, approaching 6 minutes left to go, 4th period. Here's Van Beek left wing, back to Schurz. Schurz gets it into Vogel, back to Dylan Bosma. Here's Braden Bosma, pull up. 3, no good, too long. Probably the only bad shot that Bosma's taken all night. Here's Honkamp, back to DeWitt. 5:30 remaining. Here's Olsen for 3, left wing, good. Owen Olsen's had a great night. He leads everybody in scoring with 24. Vogel back to Braden Bosma. Bosma brings it across the timeline. Here's Steven Schurz in the corner to Dylan Bosma, back to Schurz. Schurz into Bosma, 3 from the corner, rattles it out, no good. Rebound Spencer, and someone fell on the floor. They're going to call a foul on Unity. 4-point game here. So the Tigers will take over. That's Unity's 16th foul. And it looks like they got Van Beek, so that's Van Beek's 4th. And he'll have to sit for a while. Here's Olsen with it. Olsen cross court to DeWitt. 5 minutes to go. DeWitt Works off the screen, gets it up to Olsen. Is 3. No, rattles in and out, no good. Rebound taken by Dylan Bosma. Bosma up to Schurz. Schurz cross court to Braden Bosma. He gets it to Dylan Bosma. His 3 from the corner. Good! Dylan Bosma, another 3. He's up to 21. And timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions.
Unity Christian is proud to have these businesses as partners, helping to ensure the success of our students now and into the future.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. Knights lead by 7, 4:40 remaining. A couple of huge threes from Braden Bosma and Dylan Bosma. The Knights trying to hang on in what's been an exciting back and forth game. Riley DeWitt gets it off to Owen Olsen, back to DeWitt. So he gets it across. 4:30 remaining. DeWitt works off the screen, back out to Olsen. Olsen back to DeWitt, he'll take a 3, right wing, good. DeWitt has 12 now. It's back to a 4-point game. Schurz up to Dylan Bosma. Bosma has it knocked off Vogel's hands. It'll be out of bounds on Spencer. So Braden Bosma to inbound. Gets it in to Dylan Bosma. Bosma into Jackson Volgan at the free throw line. Back out to Braden Bosma. Bosma up to, here's Dylan with it again. Back to Braden. Braden drives, underhanded layup, up and good. Good finish at the rim by Braden Bosma. He's got 21. So does his brother. And that goes, I believe, out of bounds. Tice Van Beek will check back in. It's a 6-point lead for the Knights. Steven Schurz checks out. So here is DeWitt. DeWitt stops, gets it back to Olsen. Here's a 3 from the corner from Honkamp, no good. Rebound, Tice Van Beek. Van Beek's got to be careful. He's up to 4 fouls, but here's Waringa to Bosma, and in the paint to Vogel, who lays it up and in. Vogel with a huge layup. It's back to an 8-point lead for the Knights. Here's Olsen into Honkamp, back to Olsen. Olsen, 3, right wing, no good. Rebound Vogel, who gets it up to Dylan Bosma. Here's Tice Van Beek. 3 minutes left to go here. Hands it off to Braden Bosma. Dylan Bosma for 3 from the corner. Good! Are you kidding me? Another 3 from Dylan Bosma. 9-point lead for the Knights. Here's Timmer. Layup, no good. Rebound, Tice Van Beek. Van Beek up to Dylan Bosma. Cross court to Braden Bosma. Here's Tice Van Beek. Dylan Bosma again. Back up to Braden. Braden drives baseline, pull up a jumper, good. Bosma is 23. Dylan Bosma is 24. These two competing with each other. Here's Owen Olsen. Olsen. Here's a 3 from Honkamp in the corner, good. Back to a 10-point game, 2 minutes to go. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Unity Christian Basketball. And we welcome you back to Unity Christian High School. Jordan DeSmit on the call here for you. It's been a game dominated by the Bosmas. Dylan has 24. Braden has 23. And otherwise, it's been a great group effort. Tyson Beek has 7. Jackson Vogel has 4. Popham has 4. But both the Bosmas are just been hot from 3 all game. And Braden has done some good things in the paint, some good finishes by the rim. But 2:08 left to go. Knights trying to seal the deal. They have a 10-point lead here. Nice to inbound, Van Beek to inbound. Gets it up to Steven Schurz. Schurz cross court to Jackson Vogel. Vogel, trap, gets it up to Tice Van Beek. Van Beek back to Schurz. Schurz in the free throw line near to Van Beek. Here's Bosma. Bosma back to Van Beek. Under 2 to go. Here's Schurz again. Back cross court to Dylan Bosma. In the paint to Vogel. Lays it up and in. Jackson Vogel gets the lead back up to 12. Here's DeWitt. DeWitt back to Miller. Miller fakes a handoff. Gets it off to DeWitt. DeWitt back to Miller. Drives baseline. Gets in the paint to Klein. Klein. Layup no good. Rebound. Dylan Bosma fight for it on the floor. Jump ball called. Possession arrow. Unity Christian. Jackson Vogel, little full court press. Out of bounds, out. Actually, take that back, a foul called. So the Knights will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Spencer's in 9th. I believe they got Ross Carlson on that foul. First free throw on the way from Vogel is good. Vogel's up to 7. .13-point lead for the Knights. So they try to finish out this last minute in 20. Ernest right to the second free throw. Here is the second one, up and good. 14-point lead. Here's Owen Olson. Olson drives, and he is fouled. Fouled by Dylan Bosma. That's his second, team 7th, so a 1-and-1 for Owen Olson. As DeWitt checks out, Campbell Wessels checks in, the 5'10 senior. Olson's first free throw on the way and good. Olson actually beating the Bosmas right now. He's up to 25 with that. Second free throw up and good. Make that 26 for Owen Olson. 69 to 57. Here's Braden Bosma. Bosma, coast to coast, back out to Dylan Bosma. 3 from the corner, too long, no good. And a rebound, Spencer, approaching a minute to go. Stop, pull up, no good. Fight for the rebound, out of bounds. It is Unity Christian basketball. Van Beek to inbound, gets into Schurz. Schurz, cross court to Vogel. Vogel gets across the timeline. Gets it up to Braden Bosma. Bosma cross court to Van Beek. Here's Steven Schurz, and he's fouled. That's the 10th foul for Spencer. And that's Owen Olson's second foul. So Schurz from the line. Actually, Steven Schurz has yet to shoot a free throw this year. This will be his first free throw of the season. First free throw up and good. Schurz up to 4. 13-point lead for the Knights. Second free throw on the way and good. So Schurz a perfect 100% from the line this year. Dylan Bosma checks back in. It's a 14-point lead for the Knights. Here's DeWitt. DeWitt crossover in the paint, back out to Honkamp. He'll take a 3 from the corner, rousing it out, no good. Rebound Olsen, put back good. Olsen up to 28. Here's Trevor Wearing, got 30 seconds left to go, almost tackled on the way down there. But he'll go to the line for 2. Owen Olsen on that foul again, that's his 3rd. Wearing at the line. Coming in 7 for 15. I think I mentioned that earlier. First free throw on the way, no good. Still 12-point lead, second free throw on the way and good. Trevor Wearing his first points of the game. Here's Owen Olsen. Olsen pull up 3, rousing it out, no good, almost got it. Rebound Honkamp, no good. Rebound and a foul on the floor, I believe by Braden Bosma. Bosma's second, team's 8th, 1-1 for Miller. First free throw, good. And a second free throw on the way, and good. From Caden Miller, Bosma looking for somewhere to go, gets it up to Steven Schurz. Approaching 10 seconds left to go. Here's Jackson Vogel, brings it back out to Braden Bosma. And couldn't get the foul on him, but it's taken by Miller. 5 seconds to go. And a last-second heave is no good. And that will be the end of this game. And the Knights with another huge victory. Back-to-back signature and great team victory from both the boys and girls as the boys take this one 72-61. We will take a break and we'll be back with the post-game recap. You were watching Unity Christian Basketball on Photo Digital Solutions.
I'll take a grande, no foam, triple cap, double pump vanilla latte with 3.5 ice cubes, slightly shaken, extra whip.
Yeah, that's going to be an upcharge.
Great! This one is on my Kasasa cashback checking account.
Uh-huh.
Kasasa pays me cash back on everyday debit card purchases, plus refunds on ATM withdrawal fees. Go on, take back banking and treat yourself to monthly cash rewards.
Switch to Kasasa at Iowa State Bank.
The instructors here are really nice. The way they teach here is different than a few other colleges as well. We have outside cars, so not just a bunch of trainer cars that everybody works on and you kind of know what's wrong with them already. So we have to go through the full steps of diagnostics and find out what the problem is, and then we fix it.
The heavy equipment program here at NCC is unique in that we actually go out and do real-world jobs. Students get hands-on time with the equipment. We cover the maintenance as well as the operation of the equipment, and then we go into the estimating side of things.
All the best sports shows, all the best games on 101.5 FM and 1570 AM for your college sports, University of South Dakota. For NHL coverage, Minnesota Wild. For NBA coverage, Minnesota Timberwolves. For MLB coverage, Chicago Cubs. And the best games in both college and the pros with the ESPN Radio featured games. Never miss out on the action.
And welcome back to Unity Christian High School. The boys take this matchup against the Spencer Tigers. They win at 72-61. They was tied at 20 at the end of the first period. The Tigers were up 39-34 at halftime, and then that's when the Knights started to pull away. They're up 50-46 at the end of 3, then 72-61 here to end it. And I'll go through some of the final stats first for Spencer. Owen Olsen led all scoring among everybody. He had 28 tonight. Great effort from him, almost scoring half of the points here for the Tigers. Riley DeWitt had 12. Campbell Wessels had 2. Gavin Honkamp had 3. Ross Carlson with 4. Jack Behrens with 4. And then Caleb Klein with 4 as well. And for the Knights, Tice Van Beek had 7. Braden Bosma had 23. Dylan Bosma had 24. He led the way for the Knights. Trevor Waringa had 1. Jackson Popham had 4. Then Jackson Vogel had 8. And between Braden Bosma and Dylan Bosma, there were 11 threes. Braden had 3 and Dylan had 8. And all 24 of Dylan Bosma's points were on the three-pointers. So just a fantastic night shooting from beyond the arc, and they needed it to play really a solid team in a class above them. So good on them, and just really an all-around great performance by both the boys and the girls here tonight. And what the Knights have coming up for Spencer, they will take on Sioux City West. They're at Sioux City West, and they'll take them on the 9th. Then they got 2 games against Sioux City East, and then end the year against Sioux City North. But for the Knights, they have a couple games coming up here this week. They will be on the road at MMCRU tomorrow, and then they will play at Bishop Heelan. They will play that game on the 9th. And I believe the girls have a similar schedule. Let me just go ahead and quick double check. Yes, they do have, I believe they just have MMCRU tomorrow. I think the schedule that I have is actually cut off, so there might be a game or two I'm forgetting about there. But I believe the girls will play Okoboji on a Saturday to start their playoff run, so make sure we tune in for that. And they got a game or two here at the end of the regular season to end the year off strong, as they look, both teams, both boys and girls, look to make a deep playoff run. So that'll be about it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. This is Jordan DeSmits signing off.